our website to set up your next delivery.
Next week, we have an exciting lineup planned just for you. We'll be sharing some incredible stories that you will not want to miss. And that's our show for today. Thanks for joining us on What's Trending. We'll see you right here on Monday. Have a great weekend, everyone.
At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, I'm Clint Watson, and this is ZNS.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Here's a look at tonight's top stories. The Bahamas government reaffirms its support to 2 Caribbean nations in the wake of ongoing challenges. Also, WNBA champion and MVP Jonquel Jones is welcome home in a grand celebration. And later, a traffic mishap on Abaco claims the life of an adult male. The details coming up.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Jolanda Thompson-Everest. Thanks so much for tuning in. Topping the news tonight, the Bahamas government reaffirming its commitment to 2 Caribbean nations. This as one country is embroiled in a battle for survival, while the other in the wake of economic uncertainty. Joan Davis-Roll has tonight's top story.
The war-torn country of Haiti continues to grab headlines. This as not only the national flag carrier Bahamas Air was forced to cancel all flights into that country, but as the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, has banned U.S.-based airlines from flying into Haiti after 3 airlines, Spirit, JetBlue, and American, reported being hit by gunfire. Another breaking story out of the island nation coming in the wake of a government shakeup. The appointment of a new Prime Minister, Alexis Felix Amin, on Monday, November 11th. Amin's rise to political prominence comes as the 9-member transitional presidential council fired former Prime Minister Gary Conille. In a seemingly prophetic twist, prior to these new developments, it was Haiti's plight that the Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Brave Davis, while on Grand Bahama, recently told regional and international diplomats remains at the forefront of the discussions and support.
To Haiti, our hearts and hopes we extend. We not view their struggles from afar, but feel them close. Like the pulse of the Caribbean tide, we are bound by kinship and by duty, and the Bahamas stands ready to support Haiti's path to stability and peace.
Haiti's future, he says, lies within the hands of the Haitian people.
Yet we believe that the foundation of that peace must be led by Haitian hands, led by Haitian voices, and sustained by Haitian will. We shall not falter in our support, for we know that the strength of one island fortifies the strength of all.
From Haiti, we move to another island nation, Cuba. From widespread power outages to a recent earthquake that rocked that nation. Prime Minister Davis, on the topic of Cuba's economic challenges, says the time has come for the shackles of Cuba's economy to be broken.
To our neighbors in Cuba, we agree the time for embargoes has long passed. The shackles that hold back free exchange must be lifted, for they serve only to hinder progress and prosperity in our shared sea. We call upon the world to remove this barrier to allow Cuba the dignity of engagement and the promise of opportunity.
The Prime Minister stated that the time has come for Caribbean waters to flow with trade ideas and friendship, for only through connections shall our region thrive. Joan Davis-Roll, ZNS Network News.
In other news, nearly 100 new recruits have officially joined the ranks of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, a proud moment for the officers and their families. The graduation ceremony marked the culmination of months of rigorous training. Shalia Rule was there and filed this report.
Celebrating the induction of 96 new police officers into the Royal Bahamas Police Force, government officials, family, and friends gathering at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex. Highlighting efforts to address the police shortage that plagued the country just 4 years ago, keynote speaker, Minister of National Security, the Honorable Wayne Munro, addressing the audience, emphasizing the government's commitment to strengthening the force and ensuring the safety of communities across the Bahamas.
The recruits have been taught the science of being a policeman, but that's not all it takes. It takes being at one with the community, respecting persons. It also spoke as to the families and the support that they give to police officers. And the poem speaks about the need to be steadfast and show integrity. And if you do all of that, then you will keep your name.
The Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernander, and the Assistant Commissioner of Police Shanton Knowles, all watching with smiles on their faces as the recruits displayed what they've learned during the 6 months of police training.
Great. It's great to see all of the new police officers during their graduation and passing out ceremony. I think it's a great day for Grand Bahama because this is where they train, and just happy to see that we are increasing capacity in the Royal Bahamas Police Force.
I'm elated to receive those 96 officers here in Grand Bahama. On Friday coming, we have an additional 100 in New Providence, so we welcome that.
I'm truly excited to have been given the opportunity to train 96 new officers for the Royal Bahamas Police Force. It's been a grueling 6 months of training, but I'm pleased to present these 96 to the people of the Bahamas.
The new police officers showcasing their training through impressive demonstrations, including physical exercises, drill routines, and vehicle stop and search procedures, highlighting the skills they've acquired during their preparation. Graduates also receiving rewards for their service during training. The ceremony concluding with the lowering of the nation's flag and the singing of the national anthem. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shalia.
The streets of Abaco claiming another life. The fatal accident taking place early this morning. Officers from the Abaco Division received initial reports of a traffic accident around 6:40 a.m. Officers then proceeded to the area near BPL on Essie-Boodle Highway and met a 2007 Dodge Grand Caravan driven by an adult male. Police investigations further revealed that the vehicle was traveling east on Essie-Boodle Highway at a high rate of speed when the driver lost control and crashed into a large rock. This caused extensive damage. EMS and fire service attended the scene. The driver was then pronounced dead. Officers from Traffic Division on Grand Bahama are presently on Abaco assisting with the investigation. Meanwhile, on Abaco, police officers on that northern island are investigating an armed robbery that occurred at a business establishment on Front Street in Cooperstown on Wednesday, November 13th, 2024. Reports reveal that a man entered the business establishment brandishing a firearm while holding an employee at bay. The culprit stole a large sum of cash from the business before fleeing from the scene. This matter remains under active investigations. heroes welcome for Bahamian basketball sensation Jonquel Jones. The WNBA champion and MVP was celebrated in grand style as she returned home to the Bahamas. From her humble beginnings to international stardom, Jones's journey has inspired a nation, and her homecoming was nothing short of extraordinary. Shalia Roll reports.
A true hero's welcome for Bahamian basketball star Jonquel Jones. The WNBA champion and MVP for the New York Liberty made a grand entrance into Grand Bahama, greeted at the airport by the Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, and the Minister of National Security, the Honorable Wayne Monroe. As Jones stepped off the plane, she was met by a sea of proud Bahamians and the festive sounds of Junkanoo music, creating an atmosphere of pure celebration. In a heartfelt moment, Jones expressed her joy, saying, "I'm happy to be home."
It feels great to be back home. Hear the Junkanoo music, get the great welcome from everybody. It feels really good. You know, it's been a long time working hard to get a championship, and so to come back home and be received like this, it feels amazing.
After the celebrations at the airport, Jonquel Jones made a courtesy call to the Ministry for Grand Bahama, where the Honorable Ginger Moxie extended congratulations for the MVP.
Being a girl from the rocks, both rocks, we know that the challenges that exist when it comes to, you know, the sport, and Jonquel, she ventured.
It's not often that, you know, a championship is won. It's not often that it's a Bahamian player. It's not often that it's someone from Grand Bahama. It's not often that it's someone from the Rocks.
Yeah. Up next was a courtesy call to the Grand Bahama Port Authority, where Vice Chairman Sarah St. George extended a gift to Jones that was made by the late Edward St. George.
Start internationally, represent so much. It's important. One is what they call a proof coin, which means you have to keep it inside its casing.
Norris Bain, the Deputy Director of Youth, Sports and Culture in the North, says this grand celebration could not be possible without the joint efforts of the Minister of Grand Bahama and the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture.
While we're celebrating Jonquel Jones, we ought to celebrate the work of the Honorable Ginger Moxie and the Honorable Mario K. Boleg. I don't think that our Prime Minister could have picked two better persons to run these two ministries.
Jonquel Jones is expected to visit schools throughout Grand Bahama tomorrow, and on Saturday, the grand parade at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex starting at 9 a.m. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shalia Roll.
And still to come.
When we come back, still no appointment to Deputy Chief Magistrate. Could this be delaying justice? We'll have the story, sports, and more in the Bahamas Tonight. The Northern Edition returns.
There are some things that are undeniably Bahamian. A good count salad, Junkanoo, the way we worship, the way we take care of one another, all undeniably Bahamian. And right in the midst of our iconic things, places, and people is Commonwealth Bank. Increasing access, sponsoring dreams, working alongside Bahamians to increase the quality of their lives for more than 60 years. Commonwealth Bank, nothing more than being Bahamian. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
Dolly Madison. Journey to a serene oasis. Relax. Rejuvenate. Welcome to Renew Day Spa. For appointments, call 352-RENU.
It's Football Sundays at Prop Club Beach in the Grand Lacayan. Catch all the action from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. with happy hour deals all day. Great food, cold drinks, and your favorite teams. Call 373-1333 for more info.
Attend the Grand Bahama College and Career Fair 2024 this Sunday at St. George's High School Gym at 1:30 p.m. Hear from representatives from colleges and universities, including government and professional agencies. Presented by Grand Bahama Administrators Association.
Island Dreams Productions presents The Affair, a thrilling show coming to the Regency Theater Saturday, November 23rd at 8 p.m. and Sunday, November 24th at 4 p.m. Get your tickets now, $40 in advance or $50 at the door.
Attention Freeport, get ready to fuel up faster with the Focal Smart Pass app. Say goodbye to long lines and hello to convenience at your fingertips. Pay at the pump and get back on the road in no time when you use the Focal Smart Pass app. Download the Focal Smart Pass app, fuel up faster at all Freeport Oil Company service stations. Download and fuel up faster today.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
The justice system on the island remains without a deputy chief magistrate following the passing of Magistrate Debbie Ferguson. Since then, concerns over the court's backlog and repeated case adjournments have grown. In this report, an attorney at law says there are enough qualified attorneys to fill the position and is confident that once appointed, the backlog can be addressed and resolved. The deputy chief magistrate position in Grand Bahama remains unfilled 3 months after the passing of former magistrate Debbie Ferguson on August 12, 2024. Attorney at law Constance McDonald says that while there were occasional court delays during Ferguson's tenure, the prolonged vacancy has only exacerbated the situation, contributing to the growing backlog of cases.
At least what they could do now that she's died is just pass it on to another magistrate who would probably be able to deal with it, as opposed to keep on adjourning these matters.
The attorney says the island is in urgent need of assistance and calls for the appointment of additional magistrates to help alleviate the growing strain on the court system.
Especially petty matters that the magistrates deal with. You shouldn't have that long delay, and they shouldn't be continuously adjourned. And, you know, a lot of times, a lot of persons waste their time in the magistrate's court because of all the delays. And that shouldn't happen. We need to, we're trying to be 21st century. We need to be 21st century in every aspect of this society.
The attorney at law revealed that the Chief Justice visited Grand Bahama and met with the island's magistrates. She knows that thanks to their ongoing communication, significant delays should not occur moving forward. However, when it comes to addressing the growing backlog of cases, McDonald suggested a focused approach to help resolve the issue.
They will probably have to bring in another magistrate to deal with the backlog. And they need to do that as quickly as possible. We don't have a shortage of legal talent, and we don't have a shortage of persons who want to be magistrates, so I don't know what the holdup would be.
McDonald, who also served on the Judicial and Legal Service Commission, explains that while the Chief Justice chairs the commission, the process for filling the vacant Deputy Chief Magistrate position is straightforward, noting that it involves inviting applicants, conducting interviews, and ultimately appointing a magistrate to the role. That's a look at stories making news. Shane, what's happening in sports?
Well, Night League returns this evening down at 8 Mile Rock, and the organizers say it's going to be a very, very fun season.
Thanks. Sports comes your way next. But first, here's a check on your local weather forecast.
Tonight's weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
'Cause it's so beautiful.
When you order a large Pizza Hut specialty pizza, you unlock a delicious deal. For a limited time, you can add a small one-topping pizza for just $2 more. Hawaiian, Supreme, barbecue chicken, meat lovers, and more flavors. And for just $2, you can double the deliciousness. But hurry, this mouth-watering twice as nice deal won't last forever. Call Pizza Hut Freeport at 352-9191 today.
Spruce up for the holidays with great savings this Friday and Saturday at Paint Fair in their new location on Bellevue Lane. All paint, all supplies, wallpaper, and flooring in stock are all on sale this Friday and Saturday at Paint Fair, Bellevue Lane. Call 352-9788.
Hummus. It's a grand celebration honoring Apostle Leon Wallace. Friday, November 22nd at Grand Lucayan Resort, Grand Bahama. 6:30 p.m. Admission is free. Love gifts welcome. See you there.
Portobello's at the Grand Lucayan invites everyone to a Thanksgiving celebration. Enjoy Sunday brunch on November 24th or Thankful Thursday on November 28th with a buffet and live entertainment. For more details and reservations, call 373-1333.
Have you been waiting for windows? Then wait no more. Conch Bahamas have in stock now PVC sliding windows, casement windows, and impact sliding windows with mirror tinted glass, all in different sizes and styles. Call us at 352-1301 or visit any of our 4 locations in Freeport, Nassau, Abaco, and Eleuthera for the great products and great prices. Open 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturdays. Conch Bahamas, dream, design, deliver.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm Shane Stubbs, and welcome to Sports. Well, the Grand Bahama Amateur Basketball Association's Night League action tips off tonight at the Amarok Gymnasium at 7 p.m. Vice President Andrew Williams says they're building off some great momentum from last season, which should make this year a lot more fun.
We had our first ever All-Star game. So we had a dunk-out, three-point shootout. We invited the barbers there versus our quote-unquote celebrities. We had an award ceremony for the conclusion, so we would have handled our rings and had everybody come in and had a good time at Pelican Bay. Our brand is to try to build it around the players. So once the players are engaged, the coaches as well, the players and coaches, once they're engaged and they're talking and they're advertising their personality and their style of play and what they like to the public, I think it'll be appealing to everyone.
Next in sports, Rosina Nesbitt Oriole Knowles High School volleyball action resuming with the junior boys quarterfinals. The Tabernacle Falcons advanced past the Sunland Stingers 2-1. They won the first set 17-11, but lost the second set 17-19 before closing things out 15-10 in the third set. The Amarok Blue Jays halted the Sister Mary Patricia Panthers in a 3-set thriller. The Blue Jays took the first set 18-16, but dropped the second 17-19, eventually winning the third set 15-8. And the LAS Buccaneers made short work of the Jack Haywood Stars in 2 sets, winning both 17-0. And lastly in sports, it was a hero's welcome for WNBA champion and finals MVP Jonquel Jones, who is home and will be celebrated this Saturday with a grand motorcade. Here she is on the occasion.
It really feels good to come home and be embraced in this way, and to have people just cherish you, because there's a lot of hard work that goes on behind the scenes that people don't see. And so especially as a woman athlete, a lot of times we get overlooked and we don't get the things that we deserve. So to come back to the place where you were born and bred and where people poured so much into you, it feels really good to be welcomed in that way.
Well, tomorrow JJ will make the rounds to a few schools, and then the Grand Motorcade and Parade takes place this Saturday at 9 a.m. at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex. You better not miss it. And that's your check on sports, ladies and gents. I'm Shane Stubbs. Your Facebook friend of the day is up next.
The Forever Flower Shop. Check out our new selection of artificial flowers and wreaths. Choose stems for your own projects or get a pre-made arrangement as a quick fix to a dull space. If you're a soon-to-be bride, inquire about bulk ordering for floral options that won't break the bank. It's all here at Island Bedding and Furniture, located at number 5 Queens Highway, across from Caribbean Veterinary.
It's happy hour at Prop Club Beach in the Grand Lucayan. Join them every Friday and Saturday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. for great food and drinks. Open Monday to Thursday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and until midnight on Fridays and Saturdays. Don't miss out.
Welcome to Health Bites, and today we're going to talk about how to gain weight. A lot of people struggle with putting on weight, so if you know someone, feel free to share these tips with them as well. Here's how you gain weight. The main thing you want to do is take in more calories than you burn daily. That's called being at the calorie surplus. Of course, to do that, you need to know how much calories is in the food that you take. So reading labels, using apps, they'll tell you how much calories is in the food, and you will make sure you're taking as much calories as possible. This can be difficult. That's why you can use products such as a vitamin syrup, which helps to increase your appetite, to help you eat more food, and also weight gainer shakes, which also give you that quick calories. Some of them have up to 1,100 calories, so they can quickly get you to that calorie surplus that you need to be at. Another way you can reach that surplus quickly is to eat calorie-dense foods. Those are foods that are high in calories. Things like cookies, peanut butter, avocado, they're high-fat, high-calorie foods, and they help you to reach that surplus faster. Another way you can make sure you reach your calorie goal is to plan ahead. Make sure you have your food prepped and ready so you're never missing meals. This is key to staying on track with your diet and reaching your weight gain goals. If you need these products, you can find us here at the Raven Mall, the Fitness Connection. We have a vitamin syrup to help with your appetite, and of course a variety of weight gain shakes. You can choose the correct one for you. Come check us out.
We all need to save time, gas, and money. Shopping at Save More can help you do just that. Make us your first stop for all your prescription needs and medical supplies. Get all your health and beauty items at the same time. And don't miss our huge choice of snacks to satisfy your cravings. And the largest vitamin selection and over-the-counter relief products. Need diapers and other baby care items? First stop. The new section for makeovers, cosmetics, and beautiful jewelry will make you sparkle for that next special event. Save More Drugs, your more store.
With BGC's crystal clear mobile service, stay connected seamlessly, whether on land or at sea. Our reliable postpaid plans keep your loved ones closer, no matter where life takes you.
ETP is a full-service personal protection and hazmat product provider. We're one of the largest stockers of these type of hazmat equipment in the Caribbean. Whether you're a carpenter or plumber, a mechanic, those who work in the industrial sector, dealing with oil and gas, chemical products and industry, we have products here to keep you safe on the job. We're located right in the mechanical engineering compound on Queens Highway and the building 12B here on Queens Highway, right across from Bradford Marine. We're open Monday through Friday from 7:45 until 5, and on Saturday from 8 until 12. The phone number is 829-5598.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that's going to do it for us here in the North. I'm Jolanda Thompson-Everest. Thanks so much for tuning in. The Bahamas Tonight is coming your way next.
Join us for the third episode of the SBDC's Business Blueprint. This week, we're tackling the navigation of economic uncertainty, strategies for resilience with our expert guest, Dr. Leo Roll. Learn how Bahamian businesses can thrive in the face of economic fluctuations, global market shifts, and local policy changes. Dr. Roll will share essential strategies to help you stay competitive and grow, no matter what the challenges may be. Don't miss the SBDC's Business Blueprint, Monday, November 18th at 9 p.m. right here on ZNS TV 13.
Clint Watson has been the trusted voice of journalism for over 2 decades. He is your first choice for hard-hitting discussions, your best choice for current affairs issues and investigative journalism. It's time to start the journey of relentless journalism. It's time to start the journey of facts over fiction. It's time for the Rundown with Clint Watson here on ZNS, where only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
At Harold One, I'm Ted Jervis, and this is ZNS.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here, faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, what is needed for Haiti's success? CARICOM shares its hope on the issue and where it stands with achieving the end goal. Also, the national flag carrier makes a difficult decision as gang violence surges in one of its key markets. And a sleepy community rocked by gun violence. Hear what investigators say led to the country's latest homicide and where they are in solving the crime. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. CARICOM tonight expressing grave concern over the transitional governance process in Haiti, with every hope of having an early meeting with its new Prime Minister, Alex Fils-Aimé, and continued talks with Haiti's leaders. CARICOM stressing in a release that the pressure of the approaching deadlines for attaining major objectives of the transition process, coupled with the conduct of free and fair elections and the seating of a new and democratically elected government, is becoming increasingly urgent. As far as it sees things, while CARICOM stands ready to work with Haiti's leaders, cohesion, coherence, and accountability are critical ingredients to the ultimate success of the transition moving ahead. The United Nations estimates that more than 3,000 Haitians have been killed and 500,000 displaced this year alone. Well, in related news, the national airline, among other carriers, halting services to troubled Haiti following airport violence there. Bahamas Air's managing director, Tracy Cooper, says they're monitoring the situation. Now, keep in mind, Bahamas Air provides services into Cap Haitien, one of the airline's key markets.
The Bahamas has a high-level diaspora of Haitians, and as such, it is a sort of a gateway between Haiti and the Bahamas, natural gateway, and as such, we operate 2 flights a week. That's 2 flights using the 737 into Cape Haitian on a weekly basis. The flight is relatively productive. It has good loads on it on a consistent base all year round, and as such, provides a good means back to the airline.
Meantime, there's been some concern raised and a lot of questions asked about the new extension of stay for visitors application process, which took effect almost 2 months ago. Tonight, Corval Pyfrom speaks to immigration about the new policy, and it turns out there may be much ado about nothing.
Immigration officials hoping to put an end to misgivings arising from the new $200 non-refundable application fee for all extension of stay applications implemented back in September. Nothing, the department insists, about the new policy impedes the process.
Nothing has changed. The Bahamas government and indeed Parliament would have initiated a processing fee for all visitors extension, and that is law. That is not something that the Immigration Department arbitrarily did. That was done by Parliament. Therefore, that's across the board.
Assistant Director of Immigration Rudolph Ferguson attempting to set the record straight about the extension program for visitors. Very little has changed, he says. Applicants are still required to be interviewed in person by an extension officer, and the same documents like passports, proof of payment, return tickets, and immigration landing cards must be provided. He warns, though, that extensions are not guaranteed, and again, that $200 fee is non-refundable.
The government has made a determination that all persons entering will be granted 30 days across the board. If you choose to stay in the Bahamas as a visitor beyond that period of time, then you will come in for what we call an extension of your visitor's stay.
Assistant Director Ferguson determines the changes are mostly minimal, but are essential to better streamlining the process. He does not expect there to be much inconveniences for those applying, especially when they are eligible.
You must be cognizant of the fact that there are the mitigating factors involved in this as to the security of our country. We're just not going to allow any and all persons to come in without taking our security into consideration.
The fee, the director confirms, can be paid through an online portal, and persons can apply anywhere in country. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corvell Pyfrom.
Well, while Prime Minister the Honourable Philip Davis reasons why the world should pay even greater attention to climate change at this week's COP29 conference, Energy and Transport Minister the Honourable JoBeth Colby Davis had another agenda to fulfill, and that is listing the country's plan to reform energy. In her address to COP29's high-level roundtable on energy, advancing climate mitigation action, Minister Colby Davis disclosed that the country's shift to cleaner, more efficient fuels is a necessity. She insists there is an added urgency to adapt and expand renewables, like focusing on solar and liquefied natural gas to foster a sustainable, cost-effective future. The Energy Minister also detailed plans at the National Emissions Agency, which includes generating 125 megawatts of solar and other renewable energies across the Bahamas. The ultimate vision, she claims, is to install over 80 megawatts of solar power nationwide. She added details of residential solar and battery energy storage involving the Prime Minister's youth unit to equip them with the technical skills needed in their community. Well, the Inter-American Development Bank's latest publication, Are We There Yet? The Path Towards Sustained Economic Growth in the Caribbean, is dealing a heavy blow on several sectors here in the Bahamas. A portion of the report indicating that 73.4% of local companies have made informal payments to government officials to either obtain or speed up the necessary approvals or access to services. This data not sitting well with Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation Chief Executive Officer Dr. Leo Roll. He feels more information needs to be disseminated on who was surveyed.
If you say 75% of businesses were have been taking bribe, or 73%, I think it was, but you've only surveyed 4 people, then that means 3 of the 4 people have been taking the bribe. So how many persons were surveyed? How did this report come about? Is this anecdotal evidence? Is this hearsay, or are there actual records that these persons can prove that, yes, they did pay bribes? And so we want to understand really and truly the impetus of the information, how it came about, and of course encourage persons of all sectors to do your job.
The Chamber exec also weighed in on the report's findings that crime accounts for $100 million towards the national deficit.
There's a business owner in a community that's crime-ridden. They may lose business because people may not feel like it's safe to shop there. They also have to, about 40% of that we look at when we looked at the report, spoke to businesses trying to find measures of security. And so if I'm spending as a business owner 40% of my income, or whatever percentage of my income, trying to increase my security measures, then that obviously will have to be passed on to consumers through inflation.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
In the chaos of our daily lives, it's easy to be caught up in the rush. But when you're behind the wheel, remember, rushing can lead to disaster. Don't rush. Take your time. Remember, your life and others depends on it. Slow down. stay alert, and arrive alive. Because in the race of life, it's not about how fast you get there, but how safely.
This message is brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
KFC is giving you more to love with our KFC Bucket Meals with large size. Get the KFC Family Bucket featuring 8 pieces of juicy chicken, family fries, and 4 biscuits that feeds 4. A KFC Deluxe Bucket with 10 pieces of delicious chicken, 2 larger sides, and 4 biscuits that feeds 4 to 6. Or a KFC Party Bucket with 15 pieces of our chicken, 3 larger sides, and 6 biscuits that feeds 6. And we'll handle the dishes, plates, and utensils included, so you can lick your fingers and reach. KFC knows value, and it's finger licking good.
Sounds of Christmas.
Amari, it's time to go. Amari!
This holiday season, don't get left behind. Stay connected with lightning-fast fiber internet from BTC.
When you sign up for a BTC fiber bundle, you can also get a $500 gift card on us.
So you see, being home alone isn't so bad when you're holidaying with BTC.
Amari! Be sure to visit one of our stores today.
Man, this ain't making no sense, man. How people making it out there, Dre?
If you want to stop living paycheck to paycheck, you gotta learn how to budget. First, write down all of your income. Then, list out all of your expenses. And don't forget to save. Stop throwing away money. Put something aside for savings. And get this, government savings bonds can safely grow your money. So start budgeting, save your coins, and invest smart. Financial independence, wait. Financial independence, wait. Learn how to invest in government savings bonds on the Central Bank of the Bahamas website.
$10 deal. Available only at Marco Southwest, Prince Charles Village Road, and Robinson Road. Man, let me see what this about. I'll take 20 of those, please. Wait. You good? Yeah, bro. Marcos, get this new deal. Get yourself a large one-topping pizza for only $10. $10? Yeah. Thank you. You're welcome. Hey, I need 30 of them $10 carry-out pizza deal, please.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies.
You're looking at a shot there of Bahama Boulevard, also in this shot, MacFit Gym. Today's beauty shot, all courtesy of our female drone pilot, Destiny Reed. Kudos, Destiny. Well, welcome back. The usually quiet residential community of Monastery Park abruptly awokened last night as it became the scene of the country's latest homicide. A male victim left dead in the street along Kildare Drive around 11 Wednesday night. The man, according to police, had apparently been in an altercation of some sort before he was eventually shot and stabbed. The man, believed to be in his late 30s or early 40s, suffered multiple injuries. On the scene of last night's incident, officer in charge of the Northeastern Division, Chief Superintendent Antonio Monroe, provided limited details about the circumstances surrounding this killing.
What I can say at this point, based on information received, is that there was a white Japanese vehicle to the eastern side of Kildare. They had what appears to be an altercation with the deceased male. Gunshots were fired, and that vehicle proceeded west along Kildare. I would assume going directly to Bayard Road.
Police were unable to say much about the apparent altercation that led to this man's death, nor the number of people believed to have been involved. Chief Superintendent of Police Chrislyn Skippings again appealed to men to work harder at resolving their conflicts.
You need to put your egos aside. Put your macho-ness aside. Because once you fail to exhibit patience, we're going to see this continuing to happen. I don't want to see another young man killed.
Meantime, a landlord-tenant dispute that ended in a stabbing and another domestic altercation on Hyla Street off Blue Hill Road in an area called Black Village, leading to increased police presence. Our Daniel Dean this morning joined officers in a walkabout of that area.
We have a number of abandoned homes in our community that we need assistance with moving some of the homes that they're using for safe haven for criminal activities. Also, derelict vehicles, also in certain streets, certain areas, they're also using them for hiding.
National Neighborhood Council Chairman Jason Fitzgerald got the ball rolling when it came to giving police ideas on how to curtail crime. The Black Village Police Walkabout on Thursday was conducted with this goal in mind.
We always want to know how people feel about the police within their areas, in their communities, in where they work, where they live, where they have to go and play. We always want to have that sort of a dialogue with residents, the business community and the residential.
Police Assistant Superintendent Dion Kingsley Brown Sr. warns that on top of efforts to prevent murder, this season brings in increased amounts of armed robbery cases.
On Thursday, the 21st of this month, we'll be having a crime symposium. Our topics will be stolen vehicles, armed robberies, and domestic violence. The persons who are going to be speaking on it are persons who deal with this on a day-to-day basis.
Police officials implore the community to attend the event set to take place at Central Church of Christ in Yellow Elder between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
In other news tonight, while the Burnett Road Ponciana Inn continues to be in demand for those in need of temporary shelter, social services officials have been busy upgrading the facility. Still, Permanent Secretary for the Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting, Fedra Raming Turnquist, strongly stresses that the shelter is temporary and by no means indefinite.
At this point, we are trying to introduce that if you are coming forward and you are asking us for the temporary shelter, if you continue to be a part of a repeat cycle, then obviously we need to intervene and we need to have some conversations with you. Can you please allow us to provide you with some financial counseling? Sometimes these things are tied to other challenges in the person's life, and we recommend psychological counseling. Sometimes they don't take our advice, but we try and we press on.
The social services exec also made this appeal.
Those who are trying and are working and are saving, perhaps you can come forward, adopt a family, try and help them in some way, mentor them, mentor the kids, be a support to them. We cannot allow the government to be the only support system. We are there when the safety net of your family has failed. That itself is another conversation.
Well, we have an update tonight on that eastern diamondback rattlesnake recently spotted on Harbor Island. What we can tell you is that a team from two different wildlife consultancies, Wild Bahamas and Natural Selections out of Florida, are on the ground conducting surveys and assessments with the expectation of updating authorities once that assessment is complete. Now, Scott Johnson of Wild Bahamas is leading those investigations. He's expressed hope of having the official assessment in hand no later than Saturday. Johnson telling ZNS News the team will remain on the island for a few more days as there are a lot of places this venomous snake can hide. Well, stay with us. On the Beat is after the break.
The smart way to pay at the pump.
A decade ago, the Bahamas Striping Group of companies was birthed out of a passion to change the way we travel. From only a $5,000 grant, the tenacity and work ethic has propelled BSGC to one of the leading road management companies in the Caribbean. We pride ourselves on going the extra mile where others won't, through the use of our state-of-the-art equipment and our certified team. Although the success is commendable, the road has been long. Yet, the mission continues in striving to be a world-class organization ran by Bahamians for Bahamians. With the help of our experienced and hardworking team, we at the Bahamas Striping Group of companies are committed to making a difference, one road at a time.
It's good to be alive this holiday season. Alive is partnering with Western Air to bring 4 lucky Bahamian students home for the holidays for free. If you're a student studying in Florida, all you have to do is share a creative video showing us why it's good to be home for the holidays with the hashtags.
It's good to be home and it's good to be alive.
And don't forget to check out our live social media pages and bealive.com to see if you're eligible.
It's good to be alive when things free.
And it's even better to be home for the holidays.
In the Bahamas, island time is real. The history of Morris Lumber Company, established in 1945, is etched into the fabric of this proud island nation. It's a story that deserves to be celebrated in full color, and that's where we come in. Morris the Paint Place has been bringing color and vitality to homes and businesses across the Bahamas. Here, color is more than just a hue, it's a symbol of life. Together, we can paint a brighter future.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
This portion of the news is brought to you by RBC's Holiday Home and Auto Expo, November 16th, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at RBC's JFK location in Royal Star House.
The Ministry of Social Services still in Abaco tonight, this time registering individuals with disabilities amid concerns that the numbers are underreported. Devontae Hanna and cameraman Victor Adderley joins me live from the second of 3 town hall meetings on that island. Devontae?
Well, Makushal, we're in Sandy Point, Abaco, here at the James A. Pinder Primary School, where the second of 3 town hall meetings hosted by the Ministry of Social Services is, in fact, underway. I can tell you that dozens of residents are in the room now hearing of those services that the Ministry of Social Services, in conjunction with the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities, are now learning of the benefits that they can receive. But this trip is not just for them to receive that benefit, but it is for the Ministry of Social Services to address a critical issue, which is to find as much people as possible who are dealing with disabilities in the Bahamas. Tonight, the Ministry of Social Services is on a fact-finding mission to register persons with disabilities on the island of Abaco.
I just feel that we haven't counted persons with disabilities in the census. Our count in the last census in 2010, the total count was 10,138, which we think was totally underestimated.
That's Chair of the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities, Nalini Bethel, who, along with the Minister, the Honorable Miles Larota, believes the amount of persons with disabilities in the Bahamas are largely underreported.
The Bahamas population is around 400,000, which means that statistics show that 15% of each population, which means that the Bahamas should have about 60,000 people with disabilities. Right now, our registered list is around 1,500.
That's why the Ministry of Social Services is hosting 3 town hall meetings on the island under the theme of Let's Talk Disabilities in an effort to decentralize its assistance.
I wanted to go to Auckland's Crooked Island and Long Key. You know, I'm a Crooked Islander, and I promised the residents there that we'll be coming. I thought we would get to them this year, but it looked like it'll be in the first quarter of next year.
Well, of course, this will not be the final stop for the Ministry of Social Services. Tomorrow night, the team will be in Central Abaco at Patrick Drake Bethel High School. And as expressed by the Minister of Social Services, the Honorable Miles Larota, he says that the ministry desires to take these formal settings, or these, rather, I can tell you they're a bit informal, a mixture of both, for residents to find out more. They're going to take these settings throughout the length and breadth of the Bahamas. We know that last week they were in Grand Bahama. We know that there were several town hall meetings across New Providence, and these town hall meetings will be geared specifically toward talking about disability. So there are people that are in the room right now that are on wheelchairs. They're learning about how they can get walkers, canes, anything that can assist them, of course, with their disability. And they're giving out decals here. They're going to be at Maxwell, a food store, on Saturday as well to pass out some of those decals, as well as some lanyards for persons with disabilities. And so it's going to be an ongoing effort for the team here in Abaco, and it will not finish until Saturday afternoon. So reporting from South Abaco and Sandy Point, Abaco, I'm going to send it back to you, Kushlo.
Well, good job there, Devontae. Well, standing by to give us a sneak peek of Access Now, right about now, are LaDon and Marcellus. What's up, guys?
Okay, so let me tell you, the Popeye, the crack Conch, or should I say the Conch salad celebrity is in the house this evening. Celis, I know you're excited about doing that interview, right? Do you like Conch?
I do.
Okay,
I do. Popeye, I would have thought it was like shrimp or something.
Okay.
Spinach, sorry.
Yes. Sounds real good. Stay with us. Our feature story is up next.
Is the Little Caesars Stuffed Crust Pizza. Get more pizza for less money. Only $12. It's a whole new level of pizza with cheese stuffed crust so spectacular that there's nothing left.
Pizza.
A delicious pepperoni pizza with the crust stuffed with lots of cheese and brushed with butter and garlic flavor and sprinkled with Parmesan cheese. Hot and ready Thursday to Saturday between 4 and 8 for only $12. Simply irresistible. And only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
Sounds of Christmas.
Amari, it's time to go.
Amari.
This holiday season, don't get left behind. Stay connected with lightning-fast fiber internet from BTC.
When you sign up for a BTC fiber bundle, you can also get a $500 gift card on us.
So you see, being home alone isn't so bad when you're holidaying with BTC.
Amari! Be sure to visit one of our stores today.
Hard hats, ribboned shovels, wide smiles, handshakes, and neatly wrapped sweet treats don't normally go together. But in the case of one James Hamilton, they're the perfect matchup.
James Hamilton has seen his fair share of construction sites. After all, for years, he's made a living as a contractor. His dedication, leadership, and master craftsmanship leading to countless Bahamians realizing the dream of home ownership. But this time around, all the rocks and rubble and shovel were for him, as Arawak Homes put shovels in the ground for its newest subdivision in honor of a man who's been building houses for more than 40 years, starting out as a drywall specialist.
People in the construction industry sometimes get overlooked, but it's the people in this industry that help to build everything around us. It's the people that take several vacant lots and make it a place for people to live. It's people like Mr. James Hamilton who don't just talk about nation building, but are actually building a nation. By naming this community after Mr. James Hamilton, when some people ask, where do you live? They would say, I live in James Hamilton Close.
James Hamilton Close sits in southwest New Providence, just off Comaica Road. The community comprises 14 single and multi-family lots. The honoree, whose children continue his rich legacy, couldn't be more delighted. Construction's to begin as early as January 2025.
That does it for the National Report, but stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.
Get to glow, keeping you in the know.
the dough. Got that fence good enough to eat, and it's good to grow. It's good enough to eat, and it's good to grow.
The Anchor Awards is almost here, and 4 deserving men will be honored for their contributions to the fishing industry here in the Bahamas during their lengthy careers under the Lifetime Achievement category. The Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources was able to get a hold of 3 of them tonight.
You know, when I hear about the Anchor Awards, they were planning on honoring fishermen for the work that, they do over the years, I think it was a good thing because I think it's long overdue.
It's honoring. I appreciate it very much. I share that with quite a few gentlemen, some that I know of, that have worked very hard.
I am grateful for the nomination, but the overall goal to me has always been about how do we empower Bahamians through this industry.
These men have been advocates for ensuring the Bahamas fishing industry is preserved for Bahamians and have made great strides in changing policies.
It started out with me trying to stop Bahamian from poaching in traps. Then I went further south to fish, and when I got down there, I found out that we was invaded by foreigners. And from that, I was trying to stop it.
I am very passionate about developing the industry in terms of Bahamian ownership and to see guides in the industry truly empowered.
A bunch of fishermen throughout the Bahamas got together and fought with and to the government to make fishing for Bahamians only.
They also shared their hopes for the future of the fishing industry.
Once we teach the younger fishermen to protect what they have, to leave the undersized lobster, the spawning lobsters, don't leave them in the water, don't fish out of season. Just abide by the rules. We'll have fishing for the rest of our lives.
We will continue to strive to make fishing for Bahamians only. It is a very important industry in our country, and we need to maintain that. It is something that is a part of our heritage, and we must continue to ensure that it is stayed for the Bahamian people and passed on from one generation to the next.
My hopes and aspiration is to see Bahamians truly in ownership of this industry from Inagua to Grand Bahama.
Prescott Smith, Keith Carroll, Richard Chuck Pinder, and David Pinder are all finalists for the Lifetime Achievement Award. The winner not only walks away with $10,000, but also a free cruise, courtesy of Royal Caribbean International. Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Leah Cooper.
Well, it's World Diabetes Day. Local associations recognizing the fight against the disease. Details coming up.
Plus, BTC launches its Silver Blue Connection campaign.
And there's a new support organization for moms of newborns. Interesting. Stay close for that.
And coming up in sports, MVP and WNBA champion Jonquel Jones comes home to Freeport.
Tonight, Access Now starts now.
And good evening, everyone. I'm Marcellus Hall.
And I'm LaDawn Davis. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, Access Now.
Well, I tell you what, so our MVP, Jonquel Jones, arriving in her hometown, Grand Bahama, today.
I'm sure she had an amazing welcome. Marcellus, fitting for an MVP, right?
Yeah, she sure has. We did a great job. We did really proud of her. Her arrival coming up later on the newscast. Let's dive right now, though, into the news. Well, today is recognized globally as World Diabetes Day, and here at home, health officials are doing their part to heighten awareness through education. Officials held a one-day symposium on the subject at St. Gregory's Anglican Church on Carmichael Road. Carla Palmer reports.
The serious problems once you have a non-communicable disease, you are at risk for it.
Long before the Diabetes Association was established in the Bahamas in 1986, health officials have been mounting education campaigns like the symposium held this Thursday because diabetes is a health concern warned about for decades. The problem prevalent at home, as approximately more than 46,000 people here in the Bahamas, or 11.6% of the population, have diabetes, and over 27,000 people, or 6.7%, are pre-diabetic. In fact, it's listed as the 5th leading cause of death in the Bahamas. President of the Bahamas Diabetic Association, Lindiana Ramming, says the prevalence has increased over the years from 6.7% in 2005 to 13.9% in recent years.
Once you're colored, you're at risk for it. Once you're obese, so much family history. So we are all at risk for diabetes. Thing is, 90% of persons are type 2 diabetic, and which it's reversible, but you have to be disciplined. You have to want to change.
The solution, she says, is simple: a change of habits. Make a change in lifestyle of nutrition and exercise.
We have a sedentary lifestyle. We don't exercise. So, and the stress and all these contributing factors. You're thinking before you eat. You're thinking before you drink. And you're planning. So you're looking at right food, right portions at the right time. 3 meals a day. But you must think about what you're eating. Should I have a chocolate versus a fruit? Should I drink soda versus water?
While the statistics may change from year to year, the advice remains the same. Pay attention to your health and do what's necessary to preserve it. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Carla Palmer.
BTC launching its Silver Blue Connection program, a program catering to senior citizens. Its purpose, according to Head of Customer Experience at BTC, Kate Neil Simmons, is to alleviate stress and enhance the user experience for older persons with specific needs.
They wanted a device that had the ability to have larger text, as well as easier user-friendly navigational screens, long battery packs. But most importantly, in addition to the device, they came and they told us that they also want some educational sessions as well, some tech sessions, because we do know that as we are talking about adopting a more digital lifestyle, a lot of the seniors are subject to some of the things that we know that they shouldn't be, in terms of what we recently saw with the WhatsApp hacking.
Simmons says the company prides itself on listening to and then delivering its customers' requests.
To host these type of sessions for our seniors, but it doesn't stop here. So while we launch based off the initial feedback from them, we want to continue to grow the Silver Blue program, because that's who we're serving. We're serving what we call the seniors. We're serving some of the disabled in the community. Our Family Island members, we've not forgotten about them, and they're included in this as well. But most importantly, what I'm excited about is our concierge technical program as well, where we have taken a group of persons from our team to really go out and support them in their home, at-home service, at the drop of a call. And so we're making it very easy for them. They can contact us at 225-5282. There will be a prompt that they can identify themselves as being a part of the Silver Blue Seniors program, and it goes directly to a team that will be assisting them.
Well, losing a child is perhaps a parent's worst nightmare, and so to offer some support, the nonprofit organization called Favors Assignment was birthed out of loss and love back in August of this year. Founder Christina Clare lost her 55-week-old baby, Favor, earlier this year and created the project to assist women experiencing similar grief. She, along with members of the organization, stopped by our studios today to not only garner public support for future events, but to also share the organization's success so far.
The initiative behind Favors Assignment is to assist babies that are currently in the NICU ward that may need medical attention or medicine, any type of Pampers, even with clothing items and food items, anything that we can help to support to make that burden lighter on the parents, and we will be there for those parents, for those babies. We've also launched just this past few weeks our initiative, which is called a car seat drive, which is Heaven Sent Car Seat Drive, where we want to collect car seats lightly used or brand new, so that we will ensure that every baby that leaves this hospital, especially within this season, this holiday season, will have their own personalized car seat.
Now, it's just to show that every year, Bahamian families experience a miscarriage, a stillbirth, or death of an infant. Members Trevon and Latonya feel the loss of child some 2 decades ago and say they joined the organization to share their testimonies and to help others.
I lost a baby boy. Shikem was his name, Shikem Smith. Went through the NICU process for about He lived for about 16 weeks, 4 months, never came home. It was a process and something I would never wish on my enemy. Mentally, if I was 25 years and I've experienced loss 3 times since that. So I understand. Women here, we don't have that community. Now we're trying to build that community for everybody to understand that we're here to help.
Well, still to come, Popeye Ricardo Dean, the celebrity conch man, is in the house. We're going to have a conky good time. That's coming up. Don't blink and don't touch that remote. We'll be right back.
Several staff members from various ministry and Department of Education areas throughout the nation were recognized for passing BJC, BGCSE, and Pittman examinations during the first employee recognition ceremony. Education Minister Glenys Hannah Martin congratulated the staff members for pursuing growth and learning opportunities.
On behalf of the Ministry of Education, Technical and Vocational Training, I extend my heartfelt congratulations to all of you who are being recognized today. This event, our first triennial employee recognition ceremony, is a momentous occasion.
Director Dominique McCartney-Russell and Permanent Secretary Lorraine Ambrister underscored the importance of rewarding staff for their excellence in service and professional advancement.
Your participation in these programs not only enhances your own skills and knowledge, but it strengthens our entire team. It strengthens the Ministry of Education because of what you did for your personal and professional growth.
You can't just be concerned about productivity. You have to affirm staff and make sure they feel good about themselves and that they excel.
Honoree Mistress Tina Swain Johnson reflected on her experience as a member of the English Language BGCSE class.
This journey has taught me to remain steadfast in all things. And although times may get tough, the reward is worth it. Remember your goal and never give up. Thank you.
Jonalee McIntosh for Ed Talk.
Candid Security offer a varied range of security services, including guard service. We do armored service, we do pre-employment investigation, background checks, also vet people for employment. A live business hosted PBX is extremely important to our operation. I don't have to be in my office. I can easily get connected with our clients, my vendors, my NASA office, and with our employees in the field, anytime, anywhere.
We eat, the friends we meet, and the specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Rainbow Plus dates, 15-ounce, $1.29. Whole chicken wings, $1.89 per pound. Fresh limes, $3 for $1. Great American white shrimp meat, 12 ounces, $3.99. Sunny Delight small or tiny, 64 ounces, $2 for $5. A full variety of Butterball and Jenny-O turkeys, plus regular picnic hams, are Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Once I had a gal, she called me babe. Left me in the cold and pouring rain. So I decided to put her down. I took a trip to Beaumont Town.
And you are looking at a shot of high above New Providence as see people trying to get home late from work, but actually a really good shot there. Destiny Reed out flying this evening as always. And speaking of flying, there is some good news for Family Islands. Let's check it out.
Family Island News is brought to you by Commonwealth Brewery Limited.
Upgrades to Family Island airports remain a priority for the Ministry of Tourism, Investments and Aviation. Government has embarked on a public-private partnership to enhance major airports across this country. Minister responsible for aviation, Acting Prime Minister the Honorable Chester Cooper, outlined some of those facilities earlier this week on The Rundown with Clint Watson.
We've signed the loan agreement with the Saudi Fund for Development for funding for Nordi Lustra
for Exuma, for Black Point, and I want to tell the people of Black Point that they are going to get their new airport. Wow. We are working with public-private partners. You've heard that we are continuing the development of the Grand Bahama International Airport in line with a progressive plan that we laid out with the Manchester Airport Group. This has been an aggressive push for 14 airports all across the islands of the Bahamas.
Minister Cooper responded to some of the concerns raised about the smaller airports in the southern Bahamas, like the one in Maguana.
We must build and design what is needed for the island. And this is, in fact, what we've already done for Maguana. I mentioned having gone to RFP for Black Point. At the same time, we've gone to RFP for Maguana. A beautiful small airport we intend to build in the island of Maguana, as we will redo the Ragged Island model in Rum Key as well. So I talked about our push all across the family islands and not leaving out any family islands. We're doing this with airports as well.
All right, some good news there for Family Islands. I'm going to turn things over to Marcellus now, who is standing by with Popeye Ricardo Dean, the celebrity conch man. Marcellus?
Hey, thanks so much, LaDawn. I think we got some phone orders around here because I don't know what's happening. Anyway, Dean, Ricardo Dean, the celebrity conch man, joining us now on Access. And tell you what, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
Now, when I saw you on the street the other day when I was doing my exercise, I didn't realize it was, also, I would stop you for a conch while I was going. But tell you what is it that makes you the best of the best? What is it? What is your secret?
I wouldn't say that I am the best, but I'm different from the rest.
Yes.
But there's so many different ways you could do conch salad. One, I put coconut in it sometimes, but I also sell a different variety of the meat that makes different salads, like wilk salad, curb salad, boiled skin, boiled conch, lobster, shrimp, and so on and so forth.
So what can you say is the most popular that Bahamians, come to you, to purchase?
We have a lot of islanders over here from Abaco, Exuma. So they really want the milk salad or that curb salad, like you.
Yes, I know you were going to say me.
So I have,
that's a huge one too.
I have some wilks. These are the wilks with luck, and the curbs are different, but you're aware.
I'm definitely aware, yes.
So more of the wilks and curb lobster salad as well as too.
And why is it so important, to put infused fruits into the salad?
It's an evolution, people try things, and the first fruit was in salad was the orange because, the orange cut the sharpness of the lime. And we used to use big sour back then, sour orange, you remember that?
Yes.
But it's hard to find, and so it was easier to get the orange, so we decided to put the oranges in the salad to cut the sharpness of the lime.
Wow. So what do you have here? What type of conch salad?
Right now, this is a traditional salad. Normally, back in the day, they used to put the cucumbers, the celery. They took out the celery and the cucumbers, but if you do want it, then we'll ask you to bring the cucumbers or whatever, but we don't normally use that. So we have the tomatoes, the onion, the sweet pepper. We use the goat pepper to give us the flavor, and then add the conch.
Right.
I see you have a big old jar of mayonnaise on the table.
Oh yeah, so most persons, most persons them from Abaco, they would have the mayonnaise in the salad. It's sort of like if you eat lobster salad.
Yes.
Yeah, just the same thing, but you add the conch.
All right, got you. All right, well, Ricardo, thank you so much for coming by, man. I appreciate it. You did an awesome job. Now, I guess you're going to show us how we're going to do this a little bit later on, but tell you what, we're going to go move into sports now. What's coming up for you as there's the return of Jonquel Jones, our WNBA star, back home in Grand Bahama. We'll tell you all about her homecoming just after this.
Janae's Christmas Wonderland with the best selection and prices in town is open under the big tent. Get 20 to 50% off selected Christmas decorations. Restrictions apply. Trees in pink, frosted green or white in a variety of sizes up to 15 feet. LED and laser lights, tree ornaments, lighted angels and Santa tree toppers. Bright, unique and lively colored Christmas balls, garlands, wreaths, ribbons, bows, snowflakes, puffs and blankets and much more. Add flowers, picks and decorative mesh to brighten up your home or office this holiday season. And don't forget the toys at Janae's Chesapeake Road. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. WhatsApp 817-3295.
The Whopper with cheese never tasted so good. 100% flame grilled beef, now juicier. With fresh ingredients as usual. And even fluffier buns. The Whopper with cheese. Bigger, better, tastier. Get a regular combo for only $9. Only at Burger King Nassau.
The most important thing in life is family. And whenever you need reliable advice, you look to the people you know you can trust. At J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, we earn our clients' trust every day. Whether it's home, motor, travel, or commercial insurance, we've got you covered. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
J.S. Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
And we're all the way in Nassau. You got it? Okay. Yes, you're right.
Eleuthero for tomorrow? No problem.
Welcome to your ZNS Total Sports Check on a Thursday, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. Well, she's back. Homecoming for Jonquel Jones as she returned to home soil today in Grand Bahama. The MVP of this year's WNBA championship and the WNBA champion getting back for the New York Liberty, landing in Grand Bahama today to a hero's welcome after helping to lead her team to their first ever WNBA title. For Jonquel, it was a great chance to celebrate at the place where it all began.
We spent a lot of time on the phone between my team, him, speaking directly to him as well, just to try to make sure that we could pull this off and be able to come home and celebrate this and, just really have a great time, because it's not often that, a championship is won. It's not often that it's a Bahamian player. It's not often that it's someone from Grand Bahama. It's not often that it's someone from the Rocks. So it really feels good to come home and be embraced in this way, and to have people just cherish you, because there's a lot of hard work that goes on behind the scenes that people don't see. And so especially as a woman athlete, a lot of times we get overlooked and we don't get the things that we deserve. So to come back to the place where you were born and bred and where people poured so much into you, it feels really good to be welcomed in that way and to be received in that way.
Now, Grand Bahama MP Ginger Moxie ecstatic to have Jones back home.
All that you do for the community, all that you do for the Bahamas, and what you do for the game. And so we just want to thank you for being here. Thank you for coming back home to celebrate with us, because, we wanted to be on that cruise ourselves. So we're so delighted.
And that's it. You look at sports for you here on this Thursday. Our Thursday weather just ahead. Stay with us.
Solomon's, we don't just believe in great brands. We believe in creating unforgettable memories and celebrating everyday living with you and your family. deal with all you need. A great value with a variety and a selection of all your favorite groceries and products. Saving you time and keeping you on a budget. Great food changes everything. Shop at your local Solomon's for food, for family, for you.
Hardware is the helpful place. Everything you need under one roof, from electrical, paint, plumbing, outdoor, barbecue, automotive, lawn and garden, pet supplies, houseware, and seasons. Hurricane season is now here, so for all your hurricane needs, we have a 25% off bargain zone.
Hey, thanks. I would have given more stuff, but I didn't bring my money. I thought this was a club, and I thought everything was free. Finally know what it is now. Ace.
We're located on St. Albans Drive, West Bay Street, open Monday to Saturdays from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and closed for lunch 2 p.m. to 3 p.m.
Hey, it's your honorary pump attendant back again with another episode on the do's and don'ts at a service station. Let's go. What you ain't gonna do is just pull up to any dispenser and put the nozzle inside your car without reading the signs. Because if you put the wrong fuel inside your car and the car mess up, you could be mad at us, all right? And then you have to walk or catch bus for about 3 to 18 months. What you're supposed to do is read the signs. We place signs all over the dispenser to tell you which fuel is which. Because you put the wrong one in the car, say bop, and you could be mad at us. You could be, oh, what happened to my car? No, it's you who ain't read. It say diesel, diesel, one word, diesel. You got up, and you mad at us. Read, that's all you have to do.
Our company has a simple philosophy, open hands. What do open hands mean? If you keep your hands closed, nothing comes in, nothing goes out. If you keep your hands open, a lot of things comes in, a lot of things goes out. We cannot expect to be a successful company without blessing our community and blessing our country.
My good friend and valued client, Dominic Stirrup, approached me following a meeting we had and told me of the idea that he had of feeding 10,000 Bahamians on Thanksgiving.
There was a lot of details to put together, had to figure out how to get it done. But at the end, it was worth it. At the end, it gave me a heart of gratitude to know that our company is reaching out to so many persons.
We invite you on a journey to witness an extraordinary chapter in the story of the Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, a tale of compassion, unity, and the true spirit of Thanksgiving.
It's time now for your Access weather forecast, and we take you from the Dane's Conch stand to the Dane weather platform. That's the way we do it here at the Broadcasting Corporation. Live weather radar showing dry conditions throughout the 700 islands, and in the tropics we have Tropical Storm Sarah, which is moving towards the west at about 10 miles per hour. Maximum sustained winds at 40 miles per hour, but there are two scenarios shaping up. If that high pressure system retreats towards the east, we can see an early turn towards the north, which will threaten the Florida Peninsula in the northwest Bahamas later in the week. However, if that high pressure remains in place, we will see it continue to move towards the west. So we'll keep you abreast with what happens with this system. Boating forecast tonight brought to you by Live Business, where you're always protected during the worst storms. In the northwest and central islands tonight, easterly winds 10 to 15 knots, wave heights at 2 to 4 feet. Your low tide will occur at 21 minutes past midnight in the southeast Bahamas. Easterly winds 15 to 20 knots, wave heights 4 to 7 feet. So the caution flag remains for the southeast Bahamas. And then tomorrow, Friday, in the northwestern islands, we will see those light and variable winds with flat seas returning. High tide 6:44 in the morning, low tide at 1:13 in the afternoon. And for the central and southeastern islands on Friday, winds east to southeast, a reduction there as well, 10 to 15 knots, and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. And Saturday, northwest and central islands, the winds will back, becoming north to northeast behind the frontal system. We'll talk about that later on tonight. 12 to 18 knots will be those wind speeds, and the wave heights building 3 to 6 feet over the ocean. So we'll put that caution flag back in place on Saturday for both the northwest and central Bahamas. High tide will take place 7:35 in the morning, with a low tide at 2:05 in the afternoon. And for the southeast Bahamas on Saturday, northeast winds 10 to 15 knots, and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they're brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Call the fire engine, run, tell them come quick. I can feel my temperature rising, never would we can creep like this. Lord, all over my body, from my head straight down to my feet. I should beat this pint on the good drum, and the soul, Lord, they make so sweet. Oh, I
For your international temperatures brought to you by Roll Star Scotch. But join me at 11 o'clock for a full weather update. Back to you, LaDawn and Marcellus.
All right, thanks, Baz. LaDawn, looks like we're going to have a rain-free weekend. I'm no weatherman, but I can predict this. We're going to have a lot of people in this studio in a little while trying to taste some conch salad.
You've already seen them, right? I see them too, but good luck with that rain-free weekend.
Yes.
We're going to now turn things over to Matea Cunningham with Let's Talk Socials.
Friday Eve, aren't you excited? Welcome back to Let's Talk Socials, where I provide you with your social media fix. I'm Matea, and I know we usually talk about a comedic trend, a cool dance, or interesting thoughts and opinions surfing the web. Today, though, we talk about a good Samaritan that folks are calling a hero. An Atlantis lifeguard, also known by the name Fane, quickly rendered assistance to a man upon seeing him lying on the side of Marathon Road unresponsive. Fane stayed with the man and administered first aid. He then patiently waited with him until medical assistance arrived. Here's what social media users are saying. Atlantis Local commented, "We are proud of you. Thank you for going above and beyond, Fane Thompson II. Hashtag Bahamas at heart." Tamara Lorraine said, "I hope he's rewarded. I know he didn't do it expecting anything, but nowadays in this country, the average person would have straight passed by." And Willie Krishan said, "Boy, that's commendable. He used his training for good. May God bless you immensely." To scroll social media and see content where you get a laugh in, and then content where your faith in humanity is restored, a win is definitely a win. Social media, contrary to most, isn't just a hub for all things casual and laugh-worthy, but amazing stories like Fane's can live there too. I'm Matea, and this has been Let's Talk Socials.
All right, thanks so much, Matea. We are back here.
You know what this is, right?
I do know what it is, actually. and this is the PG-13 television show, so we're not going to say what it's all about, but it is. It's called a pistol. This bowl, by the way, Kenosha, no need to rush. This one's for me. This one's for LaDawn. So you're out of luck. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. We do appreciate you. Stay tuned for the rundown. Clint Watson coming up next.
Good night, everybody.
Harold Blunt. I'm Ted Jervis, and this is ZNS.
The Rundown is brought to you by Commonwealth Brewery Limited.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the show. Great to have you with us on a Thursday. Well, the challenge in crime continues to lead the conversation. There is also concern that the fear of crime could escalate. The Royal Bahamas Police Force's figures for 2023, that's last year, indicate that major crimes decreased by 21%, with 3,153 cases, compared to 3,972 cases in 2022. Now, there were regional decreases in New Providence and Grand Bahama in the Northern Bahamas at rates of 23% and 15%. Now, compared to 2022, that is. The rate of crime in the Family Islands remained pretty much unchanged when compared to 2022. And while those stats show a decline in criminal activity, some residents say they're not feeling it. Tonight, we'll take a closer look at crime trends. Now, of course, all that goes along with it, and prevention. Here to provide us with the facts is the Police Force's Press Liaison Officer, Chief Superintendent Kristen Skippings. She's on basically every murder scene that you see we bring to you and broadcast to you, which is part of her job, but it's also her task to comfort residents of the Bahamas in knowing that the Royal Bahamas Police Force will enforce its mandate of maintaining law and order across the country. It's a conversation you want to be a part of, and you want to stay tuned to hear the myriad of topics we will discuss with Chief Superintendent Skippings. Can help to save your life, the life of a family member, or someone you may know. So stay with us. The Rundown returns right after the break.
I like Johnny Cake, yeah, where my fish do, but I don't need a
Hardware is the helpful place. Everything you need under one roof, from electrical, paint, plumbing, outdoor, barbecue, automotive, lawn and garden, pet supply, houseware, and seasons. Hurricane season is now here, so for all your hurricane needs, we have a 25% off bargain zone.
Hey, thanks. I would have given more stuff, but I didn't bring my money. I thought this was a glove, and I thought everything was free. Finally know what it is now. Ace.
We're located on St. Albans Drive, West Bay Street, open Monday to Saturdays from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and closed for lunch 2 p.m. to 3 p.m.
Hey, what's up, Mario?
Hey, Dale, what's going on?
Have you seen ZNS new digital platforms?
No. Let me go check it out.
Good day, Bahamas. I'm Devontae Hanna, and this is ZNS Digital,
where we cater to your news and entertainment needs. Are you a foodie? I thought so. Then look out for Digital Bites.
Shining a light on Bahamians and the good that they do, ZNS Digital is home to the Sunshine Room.
Keeping up with the latest trends, our original content will keep you entertained.
Yeah, that's cool.
But have you seen the new website?
No, I didn't see it. Let me go look.
We're still your most trusted source for news and information.
That's ZNS Digital?
Yeah, that's ZNS Digital, the people station in your pocket.
And welcome back to The Rundown. As we mentioned at the top of the show, the fear of crime is unfortunately impacting Bahamians, particularly the large population here in New Providence. Well, to date, the homicide count is over 100. Police have said the cause of some of them involve conflict resolution, gang violence, or domestic-related issues. Another prevalent area of crime are also armed robberies. It seems as every week in the daily crime report, another armed robbery is committed, and unfortunately, young men have been reportedly committing these crimes. Joining us tonight is Police Press Liaison Officer Chief Superintendent Skippings to talk to us about this. Chief Superintendent, welcome. It's always good to have you back on the show.
Good evening, and thank you for having me.
So let's jump right into it, because I want to put it in context, because we're talking about crime tonight, as the avenues are obviously are getting the attention. By and large, though, we see murders increasing, but a lot of times we tend to allow it to overshadow the figures of crime. Where do we stand now, particularly with crime, compared to last year?
Okay. Well, good evening again. Let me just say to the Bahamian people, overall, crime is down. Overall. What I need the Bahamian people to understand, crime does not consist of just murders.
Right.
Crime is broad. We have homicide, we have murders, we have armed robbery, we have sexual assaults, we have stolen vehicles causing harm, the list goes on and on.
Right.
When we pull all of them together, crime is actually down. However, the offense of murder is what we see an increase in.
And obviously, and I think it's fair, we ought to put it in context, because in our industry as media houses, we tend to focus on the more serious crimes, That's or the correct. Ones that make the headlines, which tends to be the murders.
Right.
So even though you may have armed robberies or other small crimes, we don't generally report those, and so people don't tend to focus on those. Only time you hear the crime report is if there's a murder or some serious
Something
offense.
Significant, yes.
And so it gives you the impression that crime is up when pretty much it isn't.
When it isn't.
It doesn't dominate the newscast.
Exactly.
And so that's good to know. The crime, that crime overall is down. But of course, the concern, of course, is the killing, the slaying of people, because it's something that we believe are happening too often in this country. Well, like you always say yourself on the crime scene, one murder is too much. And so what are the trends showing when it comes to murders that we're seeing happen? Why is it happening so frequently? And is there a trend that you're seeing to say why these murders are taking place?
Again, like you've always heard me say it on the scenes: retaliation, gang, and conflicts. Persons who are involved in gang activity, those who are involved in the sale of drugs, those who are involved in the importation and sale of firearms as well. This is what's driving the homicide count. Again, conflicts as well. We have found in recent times, Bahamian males especially, they're not sitting down to discuss what the issues are. As opposed to talking through it or finding a mediator They're taking things into their own hands, and they're feeling that, okay, if I just end this, the problem goes away. Reality is that the problem is not going to go away when you do that. It's actually going to escalate the problem, because now you're going to find that friends and family members, and this is where the retaliation comes in. You'll find that family and friends, they now get involved, and the situation blossoms and it gets out of control. And so this is what we see happening in the country right now. Retaliation, gangs, and conflicts, even the domestic matters. We see family members refusing or not sitting down and talking. I don't know how we've gotten to this point where family members cannot sit down and just discuss an issue. We will never see eye to eye, Clint. You and I will never see eye to eye. But we should be able to at least sit down as responsible adults and discuss what the issues are and be able to come to some amicable response.
So how do we solve that? Because it's been now years we've been hearing conflict resolution as one of the major underlying factors of criminal activity. How do we solve it? How do we get people to understand that you need to have better skills in dealing with conflicts and issues? How do we solve the problem?
It's time for us now to start training. Training, because obviously in the home, the parents don't have the skills that's required to assist. Because parents are behaving the same way their kids are behaving. Not all parents, now some. Okay? So what we now need to do, we now need to create centers where we can actually have persons go into and to provide them with the skills needed to resolve conflicts. Remember now, we also have community counseling and assessment. We have social services. We have all these counseling agencies. We now need to put a program in place where parents, where we see, especially with the children who are at risk, to put them in sessions now where we can teach them how to resolve their conflicts. In the schools now, it may be necessary to actually make conflict resolution a part of the curriculum. So we can actually teach our children from primary school, because we're not just seeing the violence in the high school. You see kids in primary school fighting as well. And so it may be necessary for us now as a country to say, look here, the children are not getting it at home. We now need to make it a part of the curriculum to ensure that they have the skills needed to be able to resolve conflicts from an early age.
There's also this fear, or there's also this notion that there's not enough fear of consequences of actions. Do you believe that stronger penalties or stronger actions against persons who are caught and are found guilty will be a deterrent to people resulting to crime?
Most definitely, coupled with swift action when a crime is committed. Once a crime has been committed, if we have swift action and the consequences are severe, it will deter crime. It will deter people from actually committing crimes. I can tell you, during my tenure on the force, and I worked at high schools and I'm always in the community, and I've heard young men say, I will spend time for you.
Wow.
They have no fear.
They have no issue going to jail for years.
No issue going to jail for years. Something is wrong with that. And so it now says to those of us who have responsibility for law and order to take a look at this and say, you know what, we need to put stiffer penalties in place so that the persons who have this criminal mind or criminal intent, it could create a deterrence for them from committing crime. The young people are not afraid today to go and spend time for someone. I've literally heard them say it. And I have to sit and talk and counsel with them to show them how it doesn't impact you now, but later on in life when you mature and you decide that you want to take on a family or you want to better yourself, but by that time you may have a criminal record. And so it's now time for us to start executing the law to the fullest. Swiftly, whatever penalties are there, the consequences must fall on, like you said. We need to even increase it. I don't want to step out of my realm, but even as it relates to bail. It may be time for us now as a country to look and say, yeah, persons are entitled to bail, but let's put the bail a little high.
Yeah. There has to be a feeling of consequences being felt.
Right. And I believe that that is why persons are behaving the way they're behaving.
When we look at what's going on in the home, you talked about it, about these domestic disputes, and we see murder coming out of it. Did it just get to the point of we had an issue, boom, murder took place? or is this a circumstance of things haven't been progressing over time and there not being enough intervention?
Progressing over time, from the smallest things in the home. Little simple things, excuse me, we've seen people argue over a plate of food. We've seen people argue over an extension cord.
Wow.
And it escalated to death. But it just didn't happen. There were other little small things happening in the home that wasn't resolved. Parents didn't teach their children how to resolve conflicts. And then again, Clint, we have to also look at the fact that we have young parents.
Yeah.
Young parents who themselves need guidance, bringing children into the world. They themselves don't know how to deal with it, and they don't know how to train their children.
Are a lot of these perpetrators of crime people who do these things in secret, or are family members aware of the lifestyles that their loved ones are living?
Their families are aware. Families are aware. We've seen that happen. A lot of times they try to close their eyes to what's going on. They see signs. Some of them are benefiting financially.
Yep. Yep.
Reality. Some of them are benefiting financially, and as soon as murder hits their door, my good child. No. We've got to fix that. We've got to train parents, we've got to train our children. The Bible says, train up a child in the way that he should go. And when he is old, he will not depart from it. It guarantees he will not. If the parents of today would train their children from they're small, bend the tree while it's young, we wouldn't see what we see happening in our country today. But parents, when they have children today, they still want to behave as single parents or as children. They still want to go out and have fun and frolic, spend late hours at night, and then they leave their children unattended. The streets raise their children, or social media raise their children, and then all of a sudden something happened. They wonder, how do we get here? Well, we got here because you did not do your job as a good parent. You weren't in the home. You weren't giving them the guidance that they needed. You weren't there to mold them and to ensure that they were getting involved in productive activities that would make them productive citizens.
What is a weapon of choice that we are seeing for most of these homicides?
Firearm right now is the preferred weapon, followed by the knife, edge tools.
When we talk about firearms, the question is always in a country this size, where are they coming from? Because we don't produce and we don't make weapons. We always talk about the fact that weapons are being smuggled in. Is that still a concern with weapons on the streets?
It's still a concern for us. Of course, like you said, we don't make weapons. We don't manufacture them, but it's still a concern for us because we see them coming in daily. However, as an organization, we remain firm and relentless. When the commissioner came to office, he established the firearm and anti-gang unit, and that unit is actively working. We have our U.S. counterparts who are working with us. Actually, in that section, we have a number of agencies who are part of that section, and they're working diligently every day. We do get a lot of firearms from off the streets, Clint. But as soon as we get them off, there are also new ones coming. Wow. And let me just say, too, the persons who are also importing, you have a responsibility in this fight against crime. You're ultimately responsible. The persons who actually have the firearms in their hands are not the ones purchasing them. Somebody else is bringing it in. Who are these people?
And that means shipping companies, all of them have a part to play.
Everybody.
All of these courier companies,
and let me say,
they have a part to play.
Because they are working with us. I must say to the courier companies and the shipping companies, they are working with us.
Have they been calling? Have they find something?
They have been, like I said, they have been working with us, and we've been able to do some good things with them. I don't want to say too much.
Yeah, we don't put anybody under rest. Yeah,
They have been working with us, and this is what it calls for in the fight against crime. Everybody doing their part. The courier company is doing their part, the home doing their part, the school doing their part, the church doing their part, everybody playing their part in the fight against crime. I also want to say here, too, because there are some parents who believe that society should raise their children.
Yeah.
The school is not responsible for raising and rearing your child. When that child goes to school, that child should be disciplined. The police force is here to maintain law and order. We step out and we assist in all our arms to ensure that our children are given an opportunity. But the ultimate responsibility falls on the parents and the godparents.
So true. Armed robberies, are we seeing an increase or a decrease?
We have a decrease in armed robberies.
A decrease?
A decrease in armed robberies as well, like I said, overall. But again, Clint, one armed robbery is still too much.
And again, these people are getting access to weapons to commit these crimes.
To commit these crimes. But
because you don't see nobody holding up a store with a machete.
No, you don't. No, you don't. But let me say too, Clint, a lot of the armed robberies that we even see occurring can be prevented.
How?
We still see persons going to secluded areas in the nighttime. We still see people parking up on the beach at night. We still see people sitting in their vehicles when they're home after, in the front of their yard or parked on parks.
Or talking on their cell phone in the car before they go inside.
There's something in law called a crime triangle. In order for crime to occur, 3 things must be present. You must have a suitable target, there must be something of value, and the opportunity must present itself.
Wow.
There must be a suitable target, there must be something of value, and the opportunity must present itself. What we see happening in our country are mostly crimes of opportunity. Because people are not paying attention. They're not being vigilant. They're not taking their personal safety serious. The other day, I can't recall who I spoke with, but I likened it to when you travel abroad. As Bahamians, when we don't have no cash on us.
Correct.
We don't have cash on us. When we travel abroad, we may have a couple dollars on us, but very rare do you ever hear of one of our citizens being robbed when they're away.
Because they're aware of their environment.
They're aware of their environment, and they're looking at everybody as a suspect. And if they feel that person is going to target them or harm them, they make the necessary adjustments.
Wow.
That's all I'm saying to the Bahamian people. Let's make the necessary adjustments here. Criminals are waiting to catch you off guard. And if you're not paying attention, you will be a target because you're suitable and you have something of value that they want.
Wow. We're going to take a break right here. Still to come tonight, more on the rise in suicides. Serious mental health matter plaguing many Bahamian families. You're watching The Rundown. Stay close. We're back after this.
Our company offers a simple philosophy, open hands. What do open hands mean? If you keep your hands closed, nothing comes in, nothing goes out. If you keep your hands open, a lot of things comes in, a lot of things goes out. We cannot expect to be a successful company without blessing our community and blessing our country.
My good friend and valued client, Dominic Stirrup, approached me following a meeting we had and told me of the idea that he had of feeding 10,000 Bahamians on Thanksgiving.
There was a lot of details to put together, had to figure out how to get it done, but at the end, it was worth it. At the end, it gave me a heart of gratitude to know that our company is reaching out to so many persons.
We invite you on a journey to witness an extraordinary chapter in the story of the Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, a tale of compassion, unity, and the true spirit of Thanksgiving.
Just what is it that you want to do? And we want to have a good time. We want to be free to do what we want to do.
Welcome back to The Rundown. For the latter part of 2024, there appears to be an uptick in suicides. Now, the latest taking place last week when authorities reported that a 52-year-old male receiving urgent medical care in hospital after trying pretty much to end his life. And that's how sad it was. A chemical liquid was induced, of course, at a residence on Forbes Street. And it's these typical types of stories that are heart-wrenching to families. I want to begin right there, Chief Superintendent Skippings, because what is police discovering as the cause leading towards a lot of these suicides?
What we found in our investigations, we found depression as one of the causes leading to it, financial situations, conflicts, failed relationships, and rejection.
Wow.
Our people do not know how to handle rejection. We found that. And so what we try to do, especially with those ones who are not successful, we try to make sure we get them counseling to prevent it from reoccurring or for them wanting to go down that path again. But depression and financial constraint, poverty, is one of the main causes that we see people attempting suicide and actually going through with the suicide attempts, with the suicide.
You know, it's so concerning in our country because these are realities that we face, right? Difficult financial times, people don't know how to make ends meet, don't know how they're gonna pay their bills, and it becomes overwhelming. Right? And that's why I believe there's so much more that our organizations and government can do to ensure that people can relatively have a decent life and be able to afford certain things. But I think a crucial part of that sometimes is people bring the challenges on themselves. Right? You choose when you do get some money to buy this rather than that, to pay this, to do this rather than pay that bill. And it eventually piles up. Do you think our choices in life are leading sometimes to the challenges we face?
I think choices do contribute to it, but then also we need to look at the fact that persons who are employed when their employment is terminated. That's another aspect.
Things they have no control over.
Things they have no control over. And I think that's one of the driving forces as well, because a lot of times you see people wwho you figure have it together. But then when they lose a job, you see things start to fall apart.
Right.
And as a society too, we are not supportive as we used to be when persons lose their job. Sometimes people are happy. I don't know how we've gotten to this point where we've lost that personal touch with people. But we have to get back to it. When somebody loses their job or they're in a financial situation, let's see if we can help. Let's see if we can talk to them or push them in the direction where they can get help. Because they're not getting that help, they figure there's no way out. And so you know what? They resort to, well, I might as well just
end it.
End it. But we have to be there more. And as well, Clint, we have to listen to when people talk. Because a lot of times you would ask people, how you doing? And they would say, no, I'm not well. And you say, okay then, and they continue going on. I've tested it before. We have said, how are you doing? Person says, how are you doing? I say, not good. And they say, okay, have a good day. And I'm like,
did you hear what I just said?
Did you hear what I said? Because I'm just testing you to see if you're listening and paying attention. People are so busy, and yes, we all are busy. We all have hectic lives. But we have to listen, especially to our family members. When we ask them a question, we must listen to their response, because in their response, you will know what is actually going on with them.
Do you think society plays a role? We know the stresses of the internet and social media and WhatsApp and all of these things that sometimes put pressure on people because they're the heat of subjects, they're the heat of discussions, or because something came out and went round or circulated. And all of these things create a bubble that makes life seem larger than it is. I often tell people, sometimes we get so concerned and something happens on social media, and you think that's the world, but it's really just a small little nucleus who's informed about what's going on. But to you, it seems like it's the world. The country is overwhelming on you. Do you believe social media has played a big role in the challenges people are facing and handling?
A huge role. I like to call it, it's positive, but I also like to call it the devil.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's causing so much havoc.
Yeah.
Not just with the suicides, with young people and the actions we see our young people also behaving today. That's social media. It's really parents need to monitor with their children, and at the same time, adults need to, like you said, understand that what you see on social media is not a true reflection of the world.
No. No.
It's just that one myopic incident that you're looking at right there and then. But it has definitely contributed to what we see happening in our country.
Are we ignoring the signs with our young people and children? I think one of the suicides we saw this year was a young person, a primary school student. I'm still baffled as to why our children would feel that this was a solution to an issue. What are we ignoring or not seeing when it comes to our children?
I don't know if it's a solution, but I would say to you, again, parents have to pay attention to social media because there was a challenge going around as well. And sometimes our children believe that, oh, okay, I'll try it, and it won't go wrong.
And it does.
And it does go wrong. And so it's important. That's why you hear me tell parents, if you have young children, pay attention to what they're watching on their devices. Have a lock on it. I know some of them may not want it, but have a lock on it because there's so many challenges. And these challenges, they lead to death our young people don't have the mind to understand that, hey, this is going to go wrong or this can go wrong.
Correct.
And so parents have to be there to monitor and give guidance when they see them watching these various challenges on social media. I could recall one time there's a social media where persons were saying to put gas on you and roll and you should be okay, and it resulted in, I'm not here, but abroad persons actually lost their lives. So parents have to be paying attention to what it is that the children are seeing and all these challenges that are coming out, not from us, but from around the world, because they're affecting our children and the decision that they make.
Do you believe that enough focus is being placed on mental health?
I believe now I've seen an increase in it. The other day I saw there was the suicide prevention campaign that I think our partners, our colleagues from the Silence Rehabilitation, I think they've been doing an extremely good job. I want to applaud them. However, I still want to see more of it. I want to see more on mental health for our older persons as well. It's something that, like I said, we must talk about. And we don't want to say because you're talking mental health that you're crazy or whatever.
And that's where the stigma comes.
Right, we don't want that because everybody have challenges that if it's not harnessed properly, you can make the wrong choice and end down a path of death where you don't want it to go. And so it's something that we need to talk about and tell people that it has nothing to do with you being crazy. It's just that we understand that there's some challenges that you may have. We need to talk about it before it escalates.
I want to transition to sexual assault because that's a concern, particularly that our female population have. And whenever you hear that you may be challenged with crime, people are afraid, am I going to be a victim? Is this going to be a crime against person? How do I avoid that? What are we seeing when it comes to sexual assault? And it's not just rape. We also have challenges with incest in this country, which I think is so horrible. We have challenges with other crimes that are classified under sexual assault. Talk a little bit about that.
Okay, well, let me just allay the fear with rape. Because I know when persons hear rape, they think that there's some males just going around raping females or looking.
Yes.
We don't see that.
That's not happening.
No, that's not happening. What we see happening, though, is it's mostly between people that know each other. People that know each other. So I want to admonish the males, especially. Yeah, I'm a female. I want to admonish the males. When a woman says no, no means no.
It don't mean go ahead.
It doesn't mean go ahead.
I ain't trying to be cute and trying to be
cute
and sexy and turn you on.
No means no. And if you continue on, that female can make a complaint. So no means no. And like I said, we've seen it between persons who are known to each other. Most of our matters are actually of that sort, people known to each other.
How are you able to address those things? Because especially if they're known to each other and the person says, well, this was agreement. We agreed. I didn't, it's you say against I say. How are you able to prove that?
Well, we still complete our file. We go through all the necessary procedures as it relates to rape cases, etc. And then we send it off to the DPP, they look at it, and when they send the information back to it,
they'll make a determination.
To make a determination on it, and then we proceed from there. It's not our job to determine whether guilty or not, but to actually compile the facts and send it to the court and let the courts make a determination as to whether the individual is guilty or not.
Our police,
the males must understand, no is no. And for those males who have a mental issue, especially with young females, young girls, we're coming after you.
Wow.
We are coming after you and we will get you. You are here to protect the young people, to protect the young girls, not to take advantage and abuse them. And so those ones who may have the thought, think again, because we will get you.
Are we seeing a decline in incest?
We are. I haven't heard much with incest lately. I haven't, and so I want to applaud all those men and family members. And I know people saying, "Oh, she applauded you." I gotta give the men what's due to them as well. You know, because we have some good, upstanding, outstanding, dedicated, protective males in this country who are doing an awesome job. And so I want to congratulate those males who consistently, you know, look out and take care of the women. But to those of you who want to abuse, woe unto you.
Are there warning signs that persons, in the cases where there may not be persons known to each other, are there things that women can do, and even men, because we can't assume that men aren't targeted, but the majority of cases are women victims, can do to steer away from putting themselves in a predicament where they can be a victim of sexual assault?
Well, one thing I want to say, especially those persons who are in relationship and you terminated the relationship. If you terminated it, leave it alone. Don't try to come back and say, oh, we can talk and we can man. And then again, if you want to talk, don't go to a secluded area and talk.
True.
Why are you going to go to a secluded area? Because he's going to feel that everything is going to work out together, and then something happens, and then...
And the first thing I say is, you called me, maybe you wanted this to happen. I thought this is what you wanted.
I always say the Royal Bahamas Police Force is here to assist members of the public and all victims. If you feel that you want to talk to that individual who you said you terminated that relationship with, go to the nearest police station. Let the officers know. We'll make our room available for you to sit down and talk. We don't want anything happening to you or the male. Come to the station, sit down and talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about.
You mentioned something earlier that I thought that we should go back to and talk about, and that is secluded areas. People love in the Bahamas to drive and pull up by the beach at night. I guess it provides a romantic setting or a private setting, or in dark areas, parks, whatever. Is the police advising against this?
Definitely, most definitely. Why are you going to park up on the beach after 10 o'clock in the night? It gets dark very quickly. And you on the beach, you, like you say, romantic, and persons, you're not vigilant.
Right.
You're not going to be paying attention. And that is a prime time, crime of opportunity, for someone to come and rob you or even rape you. The thing is, you cannot allow the opportunity to present itself. So for us in law enforcement, we don't want you... Enjoy the beach hours during daylight. When it gets dark, time to go home. You know, stop going through these little track roads in the nighttime, secluded areas. Make sure you're in a well-lit area, an area where you have other persons around, so that in the event something happens, you can alert the other persons. But we don't want you in no secluded areas and on the beach 1 o'clock in the morning talking. What is there so important to talk about at 1 o'clock?
So, you might on an anniversary, you want to be able to throw some petals in the sand and what. You're telling people they shouldn't do that no more in the Bahamas?
1 o'clock in the morning?
It's a dream to be on the Bahamian sand and throw your flowers in a cup of champagne and just say, honey, I love you. You're saying people shouldn't do that?
If they want to have a cup of champagne and throw some roses or whatever, they can go to Bay Street. Or go on Long Wharf, not Long Wharf, on Woods Rogers Wharf.
Where people are around.
Where people are around all the time.
Or go and roll into, let's say enroll, go and as a guest into a resort where you have privacy and security.
Where you can have privacy and security.
And security.
Preventing any criminal activity from happening.
All right, thank you, Skip. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, up next, hear how you can protect yourself from becoming the next victim of a stolen vehicle. Oh, listen to all the Honda drivers now, listening up now. You're watching The Rundown on the ZNS Television Network. We're back after this. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Brent Burrows, Vice President of Retail and Sales at CBS Bahamas and the CBS Pro Store. Not only do we guarantee the best prices on all your favorite building materials, but we're proud to offer the best delivery program in all of Nassau. Whether you buy one box of screws or a truckload of plywood, island-wide delivery is just $5. And for our Family Island customers, we're proud to offer complimentary drop-off to the mailboat of your choice. Visit us today at the CBS Pro Store on Robinson Road and check out our website to set up your next delivery.
The Nissan Note, the Nissan Cube, the Honda Fit, the Honda Accord, I threw it in there myself, just 3 to 4 primary cars stolen on a near daily basis, that is. And then there's the bad driving, especially on the streets of the capital. Add to that the rise in traffic fatalities. That's what we're putting our energy in this particular segment with Chief Superintendent Kristen Skippings. So let's talk about it. Obviously, it's always something that every country probably has a challenge with, and that is, of course, stolen vehicles, yes. Right? When we did this show, we did a crime show before with the commissioner right here. He brought a device to show how people have become very sophisticated in how they're stealing vehicles now. They're going online and buying a device where they can actually, you know, hotwire the car and get the car door open and so forth. Are stolen vehicles down? Is that down?
Stolen vehicles, that area is actually up.
Is actually up.
It's actually
okay.
up. And we do see, again, the Japanese vehicles are the preferred vehicles of choice.
Why?
You have they're small, they can maneuver through very easily. They're easy to get started as well, you know, and so that's why persons are targeting them. But we also, not just the Japanese vehicles, and like I said, the Cubes and the Notes, we've also seen lately where the Kia Sportage Jeep is now becoming a preferred...
Kia Sportage.
Yeah, becoming a vehicle of choice today as well.
Really?
Yeah, and so, you know, we want to let the public know so that you can make the necessary adjustments, so that you can secure your vehicle. Okay, and some of the things that you can do, you know, we still encourage people to purchase clubs. Mm-hmm. We still encourage persons to purchase alarms, and even tracking devices. Mm-hmm. And so to prevent these vehicles from being... So also what you can do at home, and as I drive through the capital, sometimes if I'm going out to a crime scene and I pass homes and I'm looking, what I've seen persons doing in recent times are those people who have Japanese vehicles, they would park the Japanese vehicles to the front, and then if they have an American-made vehicle or another vehicle,
so they can't get the car out.
So they can't get the vehicle out.
That's smart.
So, yeah,
that's smart.
You know, you have to, according to where you live at, you know, just make the necessary adjustments. And like I said, think like you're a criminal. If they come in to steal your vehicle, if you're going to steal someone's vehicle, what would you do to prevent it from being stolen? Mm. And also, Clint, we see a lot of persons when they're going out parking their vehicles in dark areas as well. I want you to park in well-lit areas. When you park those Japanese vehicles, especially in dark areas,
crime opportunity again. We go again.
Come right back again. Opportunity is the key word. You know, and so like I said, stolen vehicles are up for this year, but if persons put the necessary precautions in place, we could actually see a reduction in it. And then two, I want members of the public as well, because we've seen license plates as well being stolen. And so I want to encourage you, when you come out of your home in the morning time, check to make sure that your license plates are affixed to your vehicle.
There are a lot of vehicles on the streets right now without license plates because, of course, there was a backlog in getting license plates with road traffic. And so people, to me, tend to seem, because I thought they were up to date now with getting these. So people are still riding around as though they're allowed to do so. When do we clean that up?
Well, let's clean up immediately.
Good.
Because I was in contact with the Assistant Commissioner who has responsibility for Traffic Division. And Road Traffic Department has indicated that the plates are ready. And so those persons...
So there's no excuse.
There's no excuse. We are going to start ticketing immediately.
Please hear that.
So if you have a vehicle,
hear that. Tell them, please.
If your vehicle is not licensed and it doesn't have a license plate on it, leave that vehicle home because we will ticket you. We will ticket you. So what I want to encourage you to do as of this point now is to go to road traffic and collect your plate and make sure that it's affixed to your vehicle, because we're taking a zero-tolerance approach to that.
I'm glad to hear that, because every day you see cars driving around without plates. Yeah. And I'm thinking, boy, this is dangerous. How long this can go on.
And even some of those vehicles too with no license plate, sometimes they've been involved in crime, criminal activity as well.
Of course.
And so, like I said, I'm pleased to say those road traffic department has indicated those plates are ready. And so there is zero tolerance. So when an officer stops you, be prepared to receive your ticket and pay your fine. Zero tolerance approach.
Let's talk about bad driving, right? These accidents. I mean, I must give it to my jitney drivers. I've seen they slow down a lot, but there are still some violators. They stop anywhere. I saw a jitney driver yesterday stop on a roundabout to pick up on a roundabout to pick up a passenger on a roundabout. We still have lawless drivers on the road. And I think it impacts so much road users, and it's so dangerous. How are we cracking down? Because it seems as though these days you don't see the traffic cop or the policeman anymore stopping people for traffic violations unless they're doing a road check.
Oh no, we're still ticketing people. We still ticket people every day. You're not going to be able to catch everybody. Right. Hopefully soon we will. Because as you can tell, CCTV cameras are being installed around.
Oh, wow. So you're going to be able to use this electronically?
We're going to be able to use it electronically. And so members of the public need to govern themselves accordingly and abide by the traffic rules and regulations that govern this country. Too many of them are undisciplined. Too many of them. And a lot of times as well, some of them contribute to some of the accidents that occur on the road. And again, I want to admonish the drivers. Man, be a little bit more courteous. Mm-hmm. Let me say to you that when you actually block an intersection, that's an offense.
Yeah.
That is an offense, and you can find yourself before the courts for it. There's nothing wrong with letting one person out of a corner at a time. We practice it all the time when we travel abroad. Mm-hmm. We stop at the stop sign, we allow one car to go.
The four-way stop. We know how to use it then.
We know how to use it then. Your Royal Bahamas Police Force is clamping down the same way, because we understand that if the minor offenses are caught, the major ones, they will think twice about.
Let's talk about the law that's the allowance that says that you can turn left on green, on red. Correct. You can turn left on red. What does that exactly mean? Because a lot of people I've seen near crack collisions because people just turn left, even though traffic is coming from the other person who has green, the other side has green light. They turn just because, oh, I could turn left. Shouldn't there be once it's clear, then you're able to proceed? How does that work? How does that law work?
Now, I wish I had my colleagues here from the traffic division, because I know there will have been some amendments that I may not be too clear on. Right. But I would say this, I know there are certain points when you can actually turn left on red.
Not everywhere. Not
everywhere. And there are signs literally posted
to say
where you can turn left. And the ones that come to my mind as I reflect on it would be at the intersection of, that's where Robinson Road and Marathon Road intersects. Mm-hmm. If you're on that light there, you could get a green to go.
Correct.
It tells you to go left. If you're at the intersection of University Drive.
Correct, yes.
University Commons.
Yes.
There's also a left turn that tells you to turn left.
So there should be a sign posted to tell you that you're allowed to do it.
There should be a sign that you're allowed to turn left.
And then again, that's still with caution.
That's still with caution.
If traffic is coming from the other direction, you can't interrupt them.
Right, you don't have the right of way.
That's important to say.
And if someone is coming who has the green light is coming and you come out because you can turn left, you're going to be at fault for that accident.
Because they have the right of way.
Because they have the right of way. And so drivers need to exercise patience and to ensure that the way is clear before you make that left turn. Because if not, you're going to find out that you're going to be at fault for that accident.
Seatbelts. Are people wearing seatbelts now on a regular basis?
Some persons are still wearing seatbelts, but of course, again, we are ticketing those persons who don't. The thing is, I think we need to do more probably with the media so the media can see us out there actually ticketing. But everyday officers from the traffic division and officers from the various stations are out there ticketing persons for all those infractions that fall underneath the Road Traffic Act. We're not letting up. One or two persons may get by, but eventually we will get you. And if we don't get you, sad to say, because some persons, when you get in accidents and you don't have your seatbelt on, the mere fact that you don't have that on, you could actually lose your life. In many instances, seatbelt has saved a lot of lives.
So really, people see it as a law or restriction. It really is to safeguard your life.
It's to safeguard your life.
Why would you want to safeguard your own life? Yeah. Let's talk about traffic fatalities. Seeing that we're switching into that right now. There seems to be an increase in traffic fatalities, particularly in the last few months. What is the predominant factor behind these fatalities?
Speed. Speed. And as we go into the holiday now as well, I want to encourage people at this point, we don't need another fatality. Slow down.
Yeah.
Please slow down. If you're going somewhere, leave in advance. Leave at least 30 to 40 minutes ahead of time so that you don't have to speed. You could take your time and get there. We've seen accidents where cars flip over, cars run into various lampposts, go into a utility pole. The incident, I think, this morning, I believe it is, we had an incident in Abaco this morning where a vehicle, a fellow was driving, he collided with a rock, and I think it was a rock that he collided with, and he lost his life. Those farm islands, especially because the roads are long and they provide that freeway to accelerate. I would encourage persons to slow down. Slow down, make the necessary adjustments so that you could, what they say, drive to arrive alive. If you speed, you never know what's going to happen. Any you may hit a little pothole that will alter very, very quickly, and you end up into a tree or utility pole and you lose your life. We don't want any accidents happening. Slow down. The life you save
could very well
be your own.
Be your own. And I think a lot of I want to say to access without offending anybody, but are the types of vehicles that we're importing also causing challenges with these fatalities? We used to, you know, when you have those strong vehicles, they last a little longer, but a lot of these vehicles that we're importing, especially since they're smaller, they're more susceptible for fatalities. Once you hit them, that's it.
Once you hit them, it's difficult because, like you said, they're very soft. They're very, everything is tightly compact, and so it could very well result in persons losing their life when they get into an accident.
When people have traffic violations, are those ever ignored? For example, people get traffic tickets and they don't go to court, or they don't go to night court, they never go and pay the tickets. Is that recorded there in the system and could possibly hinder you from A, travel, B, getting any particular service that you're trying to access? Can that happen? Because people think, well, anybody call me,
You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. And at this point, I'm glad you brought that up. Those persons who may have been issued a citation, you need to pay it. If you fail to pay it and you go to court, you end up with a traffic record.
Really?
You end up with a traffic record. If you pay the citation, you won't have a traffic record.
Say that again, because people don't understand that. You could
prevent getting a traffic record by simply paying the
citation.
The citation.
If you go to court.
If you go to court, remember now you're going to have a trial.
Right.
And if you're proven guilty, then you're going to end up with a traffic record.
You'll have a record.
You'll have a record. So I always admonish people to just go and pay the fine. The mere fact that you were cited, it means that you were doing something wrong. You were in breach of the road traffic rules and regulation. Let me also say too, persons may be wanting to travel. If you have a traffic record or you have an outstanding
warrant or citation,
you won't get that traffic.
It'll show up in that system at the airport while you dress up.
When you actually go to our criminal records office to get your police record, and then they will let you know, okay, you have this here. You need to go and sort this out first. And if there's an outstanding warrant in the system for you, when you get there, we could take you into custody and then send you to court at the very next sitting of the court. You don't need that. My thing is, there's a certain responsibility that you as a driver have. If you don't break the law, then we don't need to cite you.
Right.
And if we cite you, then you need to go to court and pay your fine. But if you don't do that, then there's some consequences that will happen. And one of them people find is when they want travel and they can't get that police record. It hinders you.
Are people's licenses still suspended?
I would have to follow up on that. I don't have that information just now, but that's something that I would have to follow up on.
I always wonder if that still happens today, that if you're cited for something, like drunk driving or anything like that, whether there are actions that can be taken to prohibit you from having access to driving for a certain period of time.
There are actions, but I'd have to check to see if the suspension is one part of it that they're actually enforcing today.
We see it on television. Do we do it here? If somebody appears to be drunk and driving, can police give them a test to find out whether they're drunk?
Police can give them a test, and then we can actually keep them for a while until everything wears off. It's all about safety, you know, Clint, and that's what I want the Bahamian people to understand. As officers, we're not about just arresting and putting people before the courts and giving them police records. That's not what we are. We're here to enforce and to help safeguard you. We want you to live a long, healthy and safe life. And so there's some things that put in place, but we want you just to work with us. To work with us so we can help you save your life or help your family save your family member life.
Totally agree.
And so, you know, it's a job that we have to do. A lot of people sometimes get upset with us, but we're going to remain firm. We're going to remain relentless in our pursuit, and those persons who continue to break the law, we're going to do what we have to do.
All right, we're going to take our final break. When we come back, we can talk about, of course, the holidays on the way, what you should know. And then, of course, I hear that there's a new set of police recruits that are graduating. How are we improving the caliber of police officers putting on the streets? What can we expect from them? We'll do that in our wrap-up when we come back. Stay close.
Is the Little Caesars Stuffed Crust Pizza. Get more pizza for less money. Only $12. It's a whole new level of pizza with cheese stuffed crust so spectacular that there's nothing left.
Pizza.
A delicious pepperoni pizza with the crust stuffed with lots of cheese and brushed with butter and garlic flavor and sprinkled with Parmesan cheese. Hot and ready Thursday to Saturday between 4 and 8 for only $12. Simply irresistible. And only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
Welcome back to the Rundown. We've been having a very interesting and informative discussion with the police press liaison officer, Chief Superintendent Kristen Skippings, about crime and where it's up and where it's down, and what you can do to make sure you try your best to become a victim of crime, and really the seriousness police are taking in dealing with it. One of those things is ensuring we have enough officers on the streets. And the latest group of officers, of recruits to graduate, will take place tomorrow, is it? Or
tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
And how many people are graduating tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow we have 100 police. 100. But let me say this, Clint, we had a graduation in Grand Bahama yesterday as well, because simultaneously we had 100 recruits in training in New Providence, and I think we had about 95 or 96 graduating in Grand Bahama.
So that's almost 200 officers heading onto the force.
Heading onto the force next week. So Grand Bahama had their graduation yesterday in Grand Bahama, and tomorrow we'll have the graduation here in New Providence for 100 police recruits. And that ceremony starts at 3 p.m. at the Police Training College on University Boulevard, and it's open to the public. You know, if you want to come down and then watch the passing on.
Are you satisfied with the level of training of these recruits coming out?
Oh, yes.
Talk a little bit about these officers.
I'm very, very pleased with the level of training that's going on. We have qualified persons at our training school who have had to mold them for the past 6 months. And so while in training, they got their law, they got their evidence. They also were exposed to driving a police vehicle. They also received instructions in firearms training as well. So once they're coming out ready as full-fledged officers, ready to take on the task. And what a better time to come at Christmas time, so that we can flood our streets and to ensure that the Bahamian people remain safe and the fear of crime is alleviated during this particular time.
I know we didn't get to talk about it much, but I thought it was important to just throw it in there at the same time. Are you satisfied with the integrity of our officers? I know the police force has come under question recently with all that was transpiring and so forth. Do we still have a very much strong and integral police force that has integrity and officers who are serious about waging the war, winning the war on crime?
We do have a cadre of officers who have integrity and who are committed to the task of hand. Like any other organization, though, Clint, we have our fair share of bad apples as well. And you find that in every organization when you go to. One thing I like with this commissioner, once you come to the forefront, and you bring in discredit to the organization, whatever it is, and there's evidence to substantiate that you committed an offense, Commissioner Clayton Fernanda does not hold back. He places you before the courts, just like any other ordinary citizen. And that's what he's doing, and it will continue to do. And that's why officers have to hold their standards high. We did not recruit children. We recruited adults. Adults who were trained in the force rules and regulations, discipline. And so when we find them breaching that, they're going to go before the courts like anybody else. But the force integrity remains intact. We have officers who, on a daily basis, put on their uniforms, come to work, and they work diligently to ensure that this Bahamas remains safe.
We're heading into the holiday season now. Obviously, businesses and shoppers alike, consumers alike, ought to be vigilant. What do you want to say to them at the end of the holiday season?
Well, there's a whole lot that I can say, but we don't have much time. But I want to say to the business owners especially, because we see them during the holiday time becoming targets and victims of armed robberies. I want to encourage business owners. I've said it over and over and over. And some businesses do, but the majority of them don't. You have stations within your respective areas where your business is established. I'm asking you to go into the station, speak with the commanders of the station, get to know them, develop a rapport with them, let them know when you want to make a deposit. Allow them to come to your business establishment and escort you so that we could prevent you losing your resources.
Wow.
We're extending that to you. Also want to say to the business people, please do not leave any large sums of cash in your businesses overnight. We've seen some things happen in the past where persons break into business establishments overnight and virtually cleaned out everything that they had. We want you to make your deposits daily at varied times, but we want you to do that using the assistance of members of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, the commanders in your area. So I want to encourage you to reach out to them, get to know them. There are stations in virtually every community.
Correct.
So there's no excuse. Utilize, we've made ourselves available to you in the past, and we're going to make ourselves available to you at this time. Again, as we go into the holiday season, I want to encourage shoppers to pay attention and be aware of your surroundings. Consider shopping with others. Keep your wallet or your purse close to your body.
And in this day and age, use card. Almost every business now taking a card.
Everybody taking card.
Don't walk out a bunch of cash.
But you still have persons who say, well, I don't want to pay the interest that I have to pay with the credit card, etc. You understand me? They want to use cash. Again, when you go to the ATM machines as well, I still see people coming out of their vehicles and walking around to the front and going to push their card in and leaving the car door open. There's some things that you could do to prevent becoming a victim, and also that would assist us in the Royal Bahamas Police Force in keeping our stats low, because when you don't take the necessary precautions, then our stats increase. But we want to encourage you to avoid carrying too many bags or packages. I want to encourage you, if you have to go to the ATM machine at night, probably use one at a service station. And when you use one at a service station, just pay attention to whatever cars are on the outside of the service station, because criminals do their homework as well. And so you have to just be on the alert at all times. And also, as we go into the holiday season, Clint, when you purchase gifts for your family, please do not put the boxes
on the outside in the garbage, even we know that.
Please don't. We still see people doing that, even though it's not the holiday season as yet.
Right.
Persons are still doing that. They purchase computers, big TVs.
You advertising what you got inside.
You know, and so I just want members of the public, we've given you so many tips over the past few years since Commissioner Fernanda has taken over. We're asking you, please, please, just follow the safety tips that we've given you. You can also go to our website, royalbahamaspolice.org, click on our crime tip section, and everything is there to give you tips that would help you remain safe during the holiday season and beyond.
Chief Superintendent Christensen, it's certainly been a pleasure talking with you. You are an outstanding representative for the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Thank you so much for sharing with us and helping us to know how we can create a safer Bahamas. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's been a pleasure. That's our show. That's it for the rundown. For all of us here at ZNS News, I'm Clint Watson. Thanks so much for joining us. Be sure to stay tuned to the Bahamas Tonight at 11 with Royston Jones. Royston's over there? Yeah, Royston's already in the house. He'll be here at 11 o'clock with your latest in news and information. That's it for us. Have a safe weekend. Of course, we'll be back on Monday with another rundown. Have a great weekend, everyone. Good night.
He married Lady Marguerite. Oh my, who looks so sweet. And Boxing Day with the Pigs Junkanoo Group.
At Fort Montague, I'm Opal Roach. This is ZNS.
It's time for Focus Forward, sponsored by Invest Grand Bahama. It's Grand Bahama's best talk show, highlighting all of the positive things happening in Freeport.
Look forward to our special guests each week that will tell you about events, activities, and initiatives that are making a remarkable impact on our community.
You'll also hear from local business owners and get a heads up on deals and special promotions. It's time to Focus Forward. Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Grand Bahama's Best Talk Show, Focus Forward, sponsored by the Invest Grand Bahama unit of the Grand Bahama Port Authority. My name is Glendia Sweeting, Manager of Quality Assurance and Special Projects at the GBPA.